took it to 10.
Swallow all these pills with my pride. Married to my highs, you may kiss the bride. Trouble in my brain, see it in my eyes. I got voices in my head, they keep me up at night. Said I was okay, but I'm lying. Feel like that I'm dying, soul screaming, crying. Feel my brain frying. Try to numb the pain, all the drugs I've been buying. This oxy getting pricey. Put a codeine in the high seat. Blood red bleeding in the high seat. I've been doing so much wrong, even though Ma told me to do the right thing. Palm pills all night long, in the studio pouring out my feelings. Can't explain this feeling, kinda feels like I'm losing, even though I'm winning. Drain out bad energy. Forget the bad memories. Drain out bad energy. Forget the bad memories. Multi-million dollars, all mine from the start. Codeine kills the drama and the trauma in my heart. Just got a call from the dark side. Stab wounds in my chest, but I'm alright. I miss my friends, I hate the spotlight. I love my girl, I hate the thought light. Yellow diamonds, shiny pearls. I'm trying to give her the world. I'm trying to show her the world. She ain't no ordinary girl. I know she know I'm down and out. Life is an ocean, demons I've been drowning out. I watch the crowd and crack a smile. I have a job to lead them out. Drain out bad energy. Forget the bad memories. Drain out bad energy. Forget the bad memories.
Hey nigga, I know you care about kosher, pretty things, but
God knows I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need all my babies. Woke up looking for the broccoli. High key, keep a horn on me. That could my seat. IP ownership. The blueprint is by me. Mr. Get Off, I get off at my feet. A yeet nigga couldn't try me in a tri-state. Buddy pass, but I give him splash till he hydrated. Bounce out, know he spook town, eyes dilated. I got the money and the power, both gyrating. I feel good, get the fuck out my face. Look good, but she don't got no ties. I walked in, walked out with the size. Man, don't let me know what the pay. What the fuck? I got hits, I got bucks, I got new paper cuts, I got friends, I got foes, but they all sitting ducks. Hit his turf and get cracking, double back like a deluxe. 50 deep, but it ain't deep enough. Fuck a plate, there you go, beat him up. Falling from a money tree, and it grow throughout the month. Spit a loogie at the camera, speed off, yeah, sus. I feel good, get the fuck out my face. Look good, but she don't got no ties. I walked in, walked out with the size. Man, don't let me know what the pay. Squabble up, 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 squabble up. Hold up, where you from? My bitch, I'm finna go dumb. Sideways, bump stump, Viva, I'm on one. Dunk, 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 baby. baby, rockin' it. Quid pro quo, what you want, cause I'm watching it. Broke on the flow, let me know if you clocking it. Brody won't go, but I know that he popping it. It was wolf tickets on sale till I silenced it. Pipe down, young, these some whole other politics. Bitch with him and some bitch in him, that's a lot of bitch. Don't hit him, he got kids with him, my apologies. Ghetto child, here was Blackie Mouse with the Smirnoff. Yee-haw, we outside, boy, they about to kill him off. Blaps on blaps, it's a fact, this a brick or all. Tell me why the fuck you niggas rap if it's fictional. Tell me why the fuck you niggas fed if you criminal. Hey, Dot, can I get a drop? I'm like, nigga, nah. H-Bone coon from the west side to Senegal. It's a full moon, let the wolves out, I've been a dog. I feel good, get the fuck out my face. Look good, but she don't got no ties. I walk in, walk out with the size. Man, don't let me know what the price. Squabble up, 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 squabble up. Damn, baby. I like it. Damn. Hey now, say now, mother by my yin. Big face Buddha, get my peace from within. Send the case to all my dirties in the pen. Let the honorary walk for the win, for the win. You crash out, then you better break the backboard. I got friends hoping that they make the tabloids. You know the last one figure, he was Magneto. You play God, you gon' get what you asked for. We got the same 24, what you mad for? I put a square on his back like I'm Jack Dorsey. It's high beams if I make a public appearance. Go back to hiding cause I'm not too friendly with niggas. 1,000, 1,004. The black Noah, I just strangled me a goat. I walked in with a therapeutic flow. Put a few hundred up, let him go, let him go. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now, mother by my yin. Big face Buddha, get my peace from within. Send the case to all my dirties in the pen. Let the honorary walk for the win, for the win. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now, I done slid on a back street. Heavy on the Parmesan, everyday tax season. What the fuck you wearing, bro? It's tacky. Niggas laying on their deathbed trying to match me. Oh my god, I'm about to do the fool. They be screaming out P, but they resume is boof. Switch both lanes, the engine sound like the zoo. Need a fee just to breathe, bitch. I can talk to you. It's the Ben Frank murderer. Mister, I ain't heard of ya. Golf strings back to back, flying through the turbulence. Who is he? Free lunch, craft services. Throw your ass out this rental if I smell nervousness. Hey now, say now, let me pop my shit. Water down my wrist, I'm around my bitch. It's a green light, don't get out of bounds, I'm a blitz. It's a bird, it's a plane, no, it's all blue strips, nigga. What? Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now.
I'm way too important. I'm way too important. I'm way too important to ever let you slide on me again.
Starting to see spaceships on Rosecrans. I see the aliens hold hands. They wanna see me do my dance. I let them watch me do my dance.
Who the fuck I feel like? I feel like Joker. Harley Quinn up in the cut with a blower.
Ice shit get spooky 8 day in October. My torpedo even jumped out on smokers.
She mean mugging niggas dirty too important. If they talking about playing ball, me and my team gon' get the scoring.
If they talking about playing ball, they can take it up with Jordan. It's bald heads in the heckler for all endorsements.
Itty bitty mighty mom tryna tag a nigga toe. I'm aggressive on the beat and real life, niggas know. Hey, I tatted up my body at the pen level 4. Hey, I sharpened up a knife and came home to a blow. My bitch can get to tweaking like she playing with her nose. Lil' Brody bout to crash, my young niggas be on go. I'm a different type of trophy, baby girl, I'm rose gold. Me and Doc get the slide and put him in the chokehold. Bitches acting like some niggas acting like some hoes. Hey, I jumped out that pen, then I jumped up in the ghost. I'm the hottest topic, nigga, see my face, then he froze. All that shit he was talking, found out he not that bold. Okay, this shit like 40, that's a double, okay, let's add it up. Baby ass fat, can you do it, can you back it up? Kick flip a nigga, I got tech decks. And it ain't shit for me to call to get your chin checked. Tell him Dodie did that.
Yo, everyone. What is up? How's everyone's day and or night? All right, what we got here? First stream. All right, first stream. I'm bored. We are going to play games. And Himpleton. Streamer Himpleton. Himpleton? The streamer Himpleton had the craziest crash out that I've ever seen. Alright. Now, I'm thinking I got my hands on the call. I know a lot of people have. I am debating on if I want to edit down that call and put it on my other channel. I'm not really sure. He says a lot of insane shit. And I just don't know how I feel about that. So anyway, I thought we'd watch this. I think this was a day before the crash out. This stream happened where Himpleton went on Aiden Project stream, Aiden Underground, and he got mogged by everyone because he's an idiot. And then all his other friends figured out some shit and more shit went down and it was horrible. So I figured we watch this, and then I want to watch Lyrics react to this Himpleton video the other day. Because Himpleton was going around saying that he was Lyrics' co-host. And I guess people believed him, and no one thought to, like, I don't know, ask anyone. He never was a Lyrics co-host. That's insane. Okay. So, yeah, let's, I guess let's get to watching, shall we? Let me do... Let's speed up a tiny bit. Alright, 1, 2, 5.
Point is, he's not going to be just a robot. I talked about him coming on stream to talk about this. Because he sent me this big fucking diatribe after this video came out. Just a Robot teams up with commentary laughing stock for allegation response video. And he sent me this big fucking screed. Gonna be totally real. The whole story about jar stuff was completely off. I'm not too worried. I'm not gonna read all of this. You get the gist, okay? He's telling me that I'm off in what I'm saying, right? And he comes up with all these excuses, and he's doing a retrospective like June the King, and that's why he was talking to him. I was just listening to what Jar had to say. He's shouting me out because of the first call that you've already listened to.
Okay, sorry, I'm stalling.
He was going to tell me, but didn't want to because he thought he'd be being annoying if he did that. What I'll also say about the funny allegations is...
any fellow weed smokers here, okay? I'm loading the bowl as we speak, alright? And then we'll get going on this game, okay?
Now, the first thing that I think about this, okay,
I clicked a button on my phone.
Why are you sending me all of these words? All of these words suggest to me
Let's go.
that you've got,
Let's
like,
do this.
something to hide, or, you know, you've got, like, something that you're trying to cover up. Because it should be simple to explain something like this. But instead, I've got this big, lengthy fucking screed. I've been banging on about a bunch of random shit, okay? So I don't really understand what the purpose of all of this is. And you can see here, I asked him to come on stream. And I fucked up, I misread it, it's my bad. He said to read this off stream, I ended up reading it on stream before, hence why the screenshot came out. And then, he sent me up some other stuff as well, which was, you know, kind of annoying as well. Let me just get this quickly. I don't normally like doing this, but fuck it, I need to show you. Because I wanted to speak to him. I thought it would be good content, you know, kind of Colton-esque conversation could be fun.
Sorry, I stalled out. I stalled out. I'm sorry.
Didn't want to come on. He deleted some comments that I saw. You'll have to take my word for it. But he deleted some comments where basically he said, "Oh, how could you possibly have misread it?" Which is a fair comment. I misread it. That's my L to take. So he says he's going to go to sleep. Then I can hop on if you have questions. Sure. Let me know tonight. So if you have any questions, I'll plan to come on tomorrow. Come on stream to talk when you're available. Yeah, I already made it clear. I'd appreciate you reading it off stream. Then tomorrow, if you have any questions, I'll come on. I can't.
Should we play at?
I said it on your stream. I misread your message. I'm not streaming tomorrow, but can do Thursday if you want. Sure. So I think he's going to come on Thursday, and we're going to fucking talk out this issue and this disagreement. Because
let's show you more wins.
It's not a big massive deal. This guy's a small creator, but I'm very, you know, like big on getting things right and being correct and being accurate. So if I've stated something wrong, if I've got something wrong about what happened here, I'm happy to talk about the situation with the person involved in order to hash it out and figure out what's going on, okay? So even though he's a small creator, this isn't a massive deal. If someone is saying that I've got something wrong, that gets my back up, and I'm like, okay, well, fair enough. If I've got it wrong, let's talk about it and hash it out. Wasn't trying to pull any cloak and dagger shit. I was just about to go to sleep and figured you were streaming soon, so wanted to give you an explanation. I'd be happy to have an actual convo about it on stream Thursday. But then he says here, I made a mistake. I'm continuing my break as of now. I'm just focusing on stuff behind the scenes rather than focusing on streams. I don't think it's a good idea to dig myself in a deeper hole than I already am in. I'm just not interested in showing up on your stream as it stands because I don't want to misspeak again or say something retarded. Right, okay. And it's like, so you're saying that I've got substantive things wrongs in this coverage and sending me this big fucking screed, and I'm like, okay, well, hop on and we can talk about what it is that I've got wrong. And then, you know, the next day he's going, oh, no, I don't want to come on, actually. I made some mistakes. What mistakes have you made? What's going on? Like, what is happening here, dude? I'm so confused, bro. And then, and I don't have this to hand, this DM leaks of him talking to this goblin person who was one of these other fucking retards that was involved trying to help Cinnybear. And Himpleton was talking to this goblin retard and being like, oh, people want me to kick you out the server. Bigger creators are putting pressure on me and stuff like that. And it's like, why are you fucking being so like nice to this person and this retard who was like totally fucked their own reputation up by trying to help a fucking nonce? Not as bad as just a robot, but even so. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? I didn't think to bring all this up, so I'm a bit lost. Leah something. Yes, you probably got it, haven't you? Yeah, we're going to watch Beckett's video afterwards, but I wanted to quickly show it now. And it's just like, you know, it's so funny to me because like people like, dude, I'm so sick. I'm always sick of like a lot of these small creators. And it's like, they want to participate and they want to get involved and they want, and you know, I don't have a problem with that. And I encourage and want small creators to flourish and succeed because I'm a nice guy, okay? But people go about it in like the worst, most retarded possible way. Where I'm just like, why are you acting so weird about this, bro? Why are you knocking about in private calls with just a robot? Why are you speaking to this goblin?
People want to gay up so bad in the commentary community. It's crazy, okay? Actually crazy. I mean, I get it. It'd probably be fun, all right? It's probably fun. You probably feel like you could be on a Criminal Minds or something, okay? You feel so smart and so cool and so hip. But everyone is just kind of stupid. We're all stupid in our own ways, okay? And if you fuck around, you are gonna find out. And it's probably not gonna end up going well. Especially if you are not a mentally fortified person, alright? You will get fucked.
In person and being way too nice to them when they're a total joke and they've totally fucked their own reputation up by trying to defend Cinnybear. You know? So anyway, you talk to Aiden. Now look, okay, I do agree that Aiden is really fucking annoying. And, you know, but he doesn't want to come and speak to me. Himbleton had a return stream last night. And from what I can understand, you know, this is about as good as it's going to get. So let's,
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Like, you had this person around in your circles. A lot of people knew that this person had, like, swept for Jar, had, like, made this crazy-ass statement.
Swept for Jar, you mean Kumo?
Or, sorry, Kumo. Yeah, I guess yeah, sorry, I mean Jar. Had swept for Kumo. You kept this person in your circles. So what did you see in them? Like, what was what did you like about them? Why'd you have them around?
They were very informed with some ACC stuff, and like as I'd be talking about stuff on streams and stuff like that, they would send me, you know, info that like and you know clips and stuff like that.
Okay.
okay, right. So I wasn't wrong about my dude, bro. There is nothing that is going to infuriate me more than erroneously claiming that I've got something wrong in my coverage in order to fucking cover your own fucking back, dude.
Oh boy.
Right? So this fucking loser was talking to me, trying to send me a big screen, telling me how wrong I got stuff. Then went on to say, oh, I made a mistake. I don't want to talk about this. And now he's here getting challenged on knocking about with these freaks. Like this goblin person, because they happen to send you stuff for stream that's good sometimes. Dude. dude, I wish I'd known this was going on. You know, I don't normally, you know, I don't like to step on other people's toes and stuff, right? But I would have fucking opted in and fucking had a dude. I would have opted into this. I would have known.
Got you. Okay, got you. Now, I guess Beckett, what issue did you take with Himpleton having this person around?
I didn't take issue with having with Himpleton having Goblin around.
Yeah.
I spoke to Himpleton, and that whole thing was basically. So I'm just going to set out a baseline. I had a conversation with Himpleton because Himpleton has had multiple sort of fireside chats about.
Dude, I remember all this drama started, this fucking Cindy Bear, just a robot shit. I remember thinking like that romantic goblin, that's her name, right? Dude, that person sounds like such a spurg, okay? And I remember seeing Himpleton stream one night and that she was on his stream and I was thinking, what the fuck is this guy doing? This guy's insane.
The streams he does, like the fallout from them, how people see them, and what Himpleton wants. Now,
Oh my god, dude. Multiple fireside chat is basically someone's acting like a retard, someone's acting like a spurg, they're making themselves look bad, and they need to be spoken to by a bigger or different creator in order to talk them out of it and convince them and tell them as to why they're doing something wrong. Okay? Multiple fireside chats are bad news.
Yeah, it's not a good sign.
Because it's showing that they can't have a capacity to learn or know what is and isn't best and stuff like that, you know? Now, to be fair, I do speak from experience on this, and, you know, I've definitely had people that have knocked about who, in hindsight, I probably should have, you know, cut ties with sooner. You know, when someone is, like, going on stream and talking about embarrassing things and bad
Let's
things
rip
that
this
happened
bowl
to
we
them as a
loaded.
child in a drunken mess, like, that's the kind
Anyone
of
else?
person you don't
Anyone
want to be close
else?
to, because they're just going to end up,
Cheers,
that the
my
stink of their
friends.
retardation is going to end up brushing off on you, right? And this Himpleton guy, he's retarded himself in what he's doing, and then he's got other people around him that are also retarded, so it just is a big old stinky mess, basically. And he doesn't seem to be able to learn or understand or grasp why what he's doing is so fucking stupid, and he just keeps making the same mistakes, you know? Oh, hey, Beckett, how's it going? So, yeah, it's very, very irritating to have had my coverage called into question, and it turns out that this guy, he's a liar. Himpleton is a fucking liar, okay? And you cannot work with a liar.
True.
It just doesn't pan out.
that's fine. I don't give a fuck if people like listen to my opinions. I'm surprised any of you do. But what I take issue with is the fact that I've had 3 different people from different groups now send me messages of, are you trying to blackball people? Are you trying to tell people how to run their shows and their content? Because that's
fine, Jill,
what's
thanks for asking.
swirling. And then I saw the DM between Goblin and Himpleton, and that's like the baseline. So
Good to know,
like,
Jack
if you
as well.
disagree with me, say you disagree with me, that's fine. Like in the clip I showed, we're not telling you how to run your stream. We're telling you about the impacts that might have on how people see you. That's not me blackballing. I don't give a fuck. My biggest thing is people telling me I don't blackball people enough, frankly. So I can't.
Can we talk about how gaunt and sickly Aiden looks? Does
Bro.
he go full screen later? Oh no. I'm gonna have to look at his fucking face. Oh no.
kind of want to know like why you had a stream with me, went to Goblin and said a ton of larger YouTubers will say they'll say weird things about the server if I keep you, when that's not what we said at all. And also, final point, just last one. Also, I was fucking right. Like, Zani and I said to you that Goblin is a liability, and that will reflect on you. And look where you fucking are.
Exactly. No, absolutely. You are.
Bro, dude. This is the dude. It's like this is like the newer version of like old dramas involving RFC Spurgs being morons, and eventually it coming out and stuff like that. When someone sits there and made repeated mistakes and fuck ups, like for example when he got his nose put out of joint because Lyric's raided Queeman, right?
Oh my god, that was so dumb.
And he
Dude.
lied about that, and then he sits there. That was
What did? What was it? It was like just a little bit before this. It was before Morale's drama too. What was it that him and Morale started arguing about? And like Himpleton was like had like a mini crash out on stream over it. It was something. I think Morale kicked a girl from Himpleton's Discord call on stream. I think that's what it was, because he said like, "What's your age?" and she said, "It doesn't matter," or something like that, or "I don't need to tell you." And he was like, kicked her, and Himpleton like fucking crashed out. That was so crazy funny.
It's fucking stupid. And then he's fucked up here and he sits here and goes, yeah, you're right about that. It's like, bro, how many times do you need to learn that you're fucking like up and left, right, and center and doing stupid decisions and making stupid fucking moves?
You know, I said this just like, albeit briefly, and I know that you've been busy. Like, I haven't expected you to like fucking see this or anything. But like I said, you know, kind of explain this in call. I mean, sorry, DM. But basically,
Bro, he looks so Jewish. He looks so Jewish. It's unbelievable.
like,
Bro.
I,
What the frick?
as you said, like, I was majority fucking agreeing on that call. I even brought up an example
Why
as
is he
to
putting the Discord
why,
call so small?
I was not.
He's the love child of Brittany,
Dude.
Simon, and Destiny.
Thank you for the $5. Yeah, I can see it, definitely.
Like, really starting to not trust her.
I don't think that's the way you
like, yeah, it was a
do
convers-
this.
Why are you going full screen?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
shrink the call
yeah,
size
yeah.
down,
That's
so
what
one
I'm
of the
saying.
participants is a tiny little fucking ant on the stream. Make the Discord call full screen. What are you doing?
Or do half and half or something.
Why are you full screen
Don't do
now? And
this
you've got
and
a
then
little
make it
tiny ant
literally
person that
tiny,
you're talk-
especially
you've got
when he has his
Himpleton
camera
trapped in a
on.
little fucking... Himpleton's trapped in the crystal. He's put Himpleton in the crystal.
Conversation more than anything, or at least that's how it felt to me. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like to me, it felt like it was just a conversation.
Himpleton is in the jar.
I fucked
Oh
up
my
by like
Okay.
being overly nice to Goblin, and not just that, but like, and that's what I apologize for in DMs, just like throwing y'all under the bus.
He looked
I
so
I don't
awkward when he
know.
drank that water. Watch this
to
guy.
Goblin, and
Watch him drink water.
not just that, but like, and that's what I
Why is
apologize for
why
in
is that
DMs,
so
just like
awkward?
throwing y'all under the bus. I
Why
I
that
don't
looks so
understand
weird?
why, because that was
Okay. Like, look, I've been too nice sometimes, right? I've been too nice. We've all been too nice at one time or another,
Yeah.
right? But it's like not just being nice. It's being. I mean, you know, I don't really care about like being nice to someone who's offended a pedo or something. It's like guilt by association shit. It's being nice to the point where you're talking to them privately and going like, "Oh, bigger creators want me to kick you out the server, but don't worry, I'm not going to." Right? Be nice enough that if someone is sending you information, you don't stop that from happening, but don't go fucking overboard and become a doormat. Right? That's it. Especially with people that have got like a lot of baggage around them from the retardation they've recently engaged in.
a member's stream. Like Goblin wouldn't see it. She doesn't come around my content anymore.
And so that was kind of, so I was trying to do that thing where it's like, you know, if you're firing somebody, you're like kind of letting them down easy or whatever. And like I was being a fucking retard and just didn't think that it would come back around. And so when I said like, I just didn't say any names in the hopes that she would.
Well,
just,
a ton of bigger YouTubers. I'm flattered, but like let's be honest. I'm fucking D tier at the very best. At best of times. Like, hold on, can we bring these DMs up? Can we just can we bring these up? Because I just want to be clear what we're talking about. Aiden, I've sent them to you. Like if you bring them up on screen,
Yeah,
I'll read them out.
Mhm.
Because you're framing this as part of a wider conversation, and it feels like a very short snippet of a conversation, right?
I'm gonna share.
Okay.
I'm gonna share screen so you guys can see. Well, I'm sorry, best streamer ever.
Well, we know. I've been clipping you all fucking night. Right. Okay.
All right, here we go. Yep.
So it's Yo Hemp. Hey, how you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Do the screen share in the Discord call and have the Discord call on the screen because your camera will be there. And if you need to make it bigger, you can click on the stream to make it a big video. Dude. Bro, this is like basic shit, dude. I know he's new to this, but come on, dude. Use your fucking brain, bro. Why have you put yourself big and... Dude, this is so stupid, dude. We are wanting to see these messages.
Yeah, I'm okay. Still redacted. I'm assuming sick or something. Himpleton, you don't have to if you don't want to, but would really appreciate it. With the whole, did you see the whole thing with my server? Again, I'm sorry that happened. That's you bringing the server stuff up, not Goblin. Goblin, what happened? No, been offline because sick. Himpleton. Okay, so basically, I got pressured really hard from a ton of bigger YouTubers to let you go from the server, which
And
again,
now he's not even sharing the log. Listen, he's new to this or whatever. Okay. Can we point out Chud spends hours playing Warzone with this child? Yeah, sure. Why not? He is very annoying though. I understand you guys not liking this guy. He's very irritating.
again, wasn't true. We were just like, hey, if you bring this person on without pushback, you're probably people are gonna be like, well, why the fuck are you? In the same way, like Burn the World's getting with Maggot, like you're platforming this person to talk shit with no pushback. Yeah, but I still like talking to you, and it doesn't change much for me. I basically just got told if I didn't cut you off from that public way server wise, they'd go with weird narratives and shit. Don't know what you mean by that. I ain't gonna shit talk.
God, dude. This guy is so fucking cooked, dude. So Himpleton has not even got the fucking ability to say to this person, you've got too much crazy baggage around you, and it looks really bad on me, and associating with you is giving me like a bad image. He's got a fucking line past the buck and go, oh, it's these
Why?
bigger YouTubers, they're making me do this, guys. If they don't, they're gonna fuck me up.
Dude, he is such a baby. I think he says that he didn't know about like some other drama that she had said kind of in between these days. But then I think there's like actual I think, very big think, there's actual like proof that he did know about those things. So he's just like flat out lying here. And so it's like this person like hosted like a known doxer and stuff on a live stream, and did other, it's just crazy. So why wouldn't you just be like, yeah, you're fucking psycho? I don't know. Why are you so nice about it?
This guy is fucking pathetic. This guy is speaking to this goblin freak, total retard, defended Cinny Bear, tried to help them, then desperately tried to wash their hands of the stink, but it didn't go away, so they deleted their fucking channel over it, okay? He's talking to fucking goblin like this. Meanwhile, he's messaging me going, oh, your coverage is wrong. Dude. No wonder this motherfucker didn't want to talk to me.
Talk on you at all, and I did it very
also,
quietly, but that's why.
I'm not saying that he needs to like be, you know, oh, Chud, you're so amazing, Chud, and this stuff. Just don't fucking bullshit me. Bro. And also, just from like a risk perspective, right? Bullshitting a bigger channel, not to suck my own dick, just facts of the numbers. Bullshitting a bigger channel versus being nice as pie to this tiny shitter who's totally irrelevant that ends up deleting their channel because of this controversy. I mean, what are you doing, dude? Your priorities are all fucking over the askew.
What happened?
Yep.
I mean, why bring it up at all?
And this is just like me being, and this is where there's just like a lot of, just honestly like, not like reflecting, but just like need to improve and like fucking change some shit on my end. I like wanted to, I didn't.
Okay, Hibbleton is cooked. He's terrible at this. He hasn't got that instinct. He hasn't got that survival instinct of this is wrong, this is stupid. You make mistakes when you're smaller. Don't get me wrong. It happens, okay? I've got associations that I've had that I look back on and regret, as you all know and remind me repeatedly. But we're talking here, right, about, you know, the full engagement of what he's doing, talking to me the way he's talking to me, talking to this person. This person has got loads of fucking baggage associated with them, and there's nothing in there thinking, I need to be careful in what I say here. I need to be careful how I approach this, etc. He hasn't got it. He hasn't got it. And he keeps making these fucking mistakes. You know? And it's just repeated at this point.
Didn't want it to seem like it was me like fucking hating her. And I think I just, like, at the time just wanted to defer. And like, because look, the only missing context here is just the fact that like she was depressed posting like in my DMs a fucking lot before this.
If someone is depressed posting, that is an immediate sign that they're not worth engaging with.
Dude.
No, thank you, not interested. You know, ignore as much as you can. And if it gets to a point where they don't stop, you need to say, look, you don't have to be rude about it, but you can say, I'm not here for that. You know, I hope you get some help locally, but I'm not here to discuss mental illness like that. That's not what, you know. Like, this dude is getting manipulated by some shitter.
Dude,
posting
that's when
about their
you...
mental illness. You're so fucked in the head if that happens.
That's when you, okay, reverse Uno card it, okay? And you say the reason you can't talk to them anymore is because you also, like, and trauma dump on them and depressed post. And then say, so that's why I can't deal with your depressed ass. Okay? That's the trick. And then you block them and move on.
Is that happening to you?
This, and like when, so like well, I'm not gonna out any personal shit, but like of hers, right? But like she was kind of going through shit personally, not even just
womp
like,
womp. Literally, who cares about some shitter going through personal shit?
Everyone goes through personal shit.
like, with the drama and stuff. And when I banned her from the server, I was just like, oh well, I don't want her to think that like I'm also somebody who hates her. And so,
Why?
you know, being a
Why
pussy,
does it matter to you?
because I could have just been like, hey, like I have a problem with this stuff, and like also it's just kind of a liability, which I feel like she would have understood. I just fucking deferred, and because I knew it was like a membership stream, so like I didn't think she was ever gonna, you know, watch it or anything, and I didn't think that she would know who I was even talking about.
I mean, well, she did, because like I've had a lot of
I know
DMs about it.
I know,
right?
I know.
And, like that's fine. Like fucking of all the grand schemes of like Beckett's blackballing people, like I give a fuck.
Well,
it's just
and like
it's a weird one to hear because like you've got to remember like there's a wider context.
It sounds like Beckett is probably giving this guy good advice. Okay, Beckett is saying this person's bad news. You don't want them around, right? And that's up to Himbleton to decide what he does. And he's decided, yeah, this sounds about right. I'm going to cut the person off, but I'm going to act like it's other people that are making me do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Weasley.
God, dude, this is so fucking irritating, dude.
To this, dude. Because, you know, you jumped on a live stream, you talked about the fact that you were, like, having multiple conversations with Jar. You've had, like, a range of, like, sort of mini live controversies. And it's like,
Gay soy and femboy never to be seen again. Womp womp cry about your molestation. No balls. Harry Stragentakes cry about not being raised. You're done.
Okay, bro, that's a bit much, bro. I just sent this fucking loser a message. You're so full of shit, it's sickening, bro. No wonder you didn't want to come on. And he just replied with a thumbs up.
Ha!
Oh.
What?
Okay, dude.
That's crazy. That's
as much
crazy.
as I get calls with the things about being a slop channel or whatever, okay, I do take some semblance of, like, you know, okay, I want to get things right. I want to say things correctly. I want to make fair assertions based on what if it's available to me. And when someone challenges me on that, that's a big deal to me. Even if you're a small channel, I'm like, okay, well, what have I got wrong? Happy to talk about it. Happy to hash it out. It gets me back up a bit, and I'm like, oh, okay, fuck, what have I got wrong? And then when it turns out that this guy's lying for his fucking teeth, and he's mixing it up with these fucking retards, you know, and now he's getting challenged on it, and he's like, yeah, no, you're right. This is really stupid. Oh, yeah, you're right. You know, and then he's passing the buck to... Dude, it's so fucking obnoxious. It's crazy. You know? Don't fucking challenge what I'm talking about unless you're being honest and truthful and that what I'm saying is wrong. It's so fucking annoying, bro.
It's like, one of the cool ones is this sort of Queeman thing, and the way that gets painted is like you basically trying to set Queeman up.
Oh my god, dude, that one's crazy. Okay,
What,
we
the
can talk about that in a
debate?
second, but can I say one thing real quick?
The Queeman
Yeah, I just want to
debate
make it really
thing you
clear.
tried to
I
do?
was
Now
not
he's
the-
just meekishly doing this little thumbs up thing. He's in chat right now. Dude.
Wait, he did.
Right.
Oh. This guy also put a thumbs up in the chat. Bro, the signs were there. He was crashing out the day before, bro. How long has he been crashing out?
Let's see the Queeman thing.
person.
Is like you basically trying to set Queeman up.
Oh my god, dude, that one's crazy. Okay, we can talk about that in a second, but can I?
Right. Let's get some justice for Queeman. Bro, this guy... Okay, we're going to talk about it. That... Kill order. Okay.
What?
Do it. Do it now.
What?
Okay. Clean shot. Operation Clean Shot is a go. Okay.
Yo!
can I say one thing real quick?
Yo!
Sure.
Disavow.
Yeah, I just want to like make it really clear. I was not the person.
Holy.
Like, and I understand like definitely how it could seem like that from the DM itself, and like how somebody could get that, but like I never said the word blackball. I don't think that it makes it anything better, like what I did or anything. I don't think that makes it much better. But like I just want to make it clear to you separately from that like I never said blackball. That was never.
Bro,
like,
what does this matter? You lied about something Queeman did in order to minimize the chance that like Lyrics would raid Queeman so that you would get more fucking raids, essentially. That's what happened there. And then when you were challenged on it, you said you were joking. You weren't fucking joking, bro. You were trying to snake Queeman because you were upset that Lyrics decided to raid him. And you just told a lie. You literally made, from what I understand, it was completely made up. I don't think Queeman ever said anything of the sort. I think this fucking loser claimed that Queeman had like said something negative about Lyrics.
Cheers,
Like
anyone?
seriously. And my understanding is
Cheers.
Queeman is not like
Huh?
massively
Faded the
anti
hoe,
Lyrics.
faded the
You know, he
hoe.
talks some shit sometimes. Bro, it's crazy. And it's like, you know, it's cancerous because he wants the fucking raid. So that's cancerous in and of itself. I want the raid, give me the viewers. But also, you're trying to upset two creators' relationship that could end up having a negative impact on Queeman. And I won't fucking stand for it. That's so out of order, dude. That's so fucking out of line, bro. Don't talk to me or my son ever again, okay? Do you know what I mean, though, bro? It's so fucked.
I was trying to run with or anything like that.
Okay. I mean, how do you feel about like how this is going? Because right, like it doesn't seem to have had like a good outcome in the last like week and a half. But
no,
some of your
absolutely not.
conversations coming out.
I mean, for me, like the biggest thing is just this like kind of fucking retarded idea of like not wanting like caring way too much about kind of a rather not in a bad way, but like a very transactional kind of relationship like that I had with Goblin.
I mean, is that how you're viewing these relationships?
What was being transacted?
Oh my
What was being transacted there exactly?
Oh no.
Chips, are you viewing them as transactional or are you viewing them as friendships? Because there's two separate sides to this, right? Like people are either
What I'm asking here is, did Himpleton want to see a goblin? Okay, that's all. That's all I'm saying.
content to you, or they're like your friends.
That's why I asked, what are you
I
getting?
think it's a case by well, it's a case by case basis. You know what I mean? Like with Goblin, like I mean, there were times where we had,
Holy
I guess,
dude.
like we really didn't ever talk
Wants
about
a
anything personal as a
goblin
thing.
on
It was almost
his
always just about
nuts.
content.
Can I ask you a
I'm
question?
sorry, that was so dumb.
Yeah.
What would you say to the allegation that you just kept Goblin around, just gathering? So that's like a fair assessment. I mean, that's kind of sounds like what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know how that's an allegation.
Oh yeah, so that seems like what you're admitting to. Okay, so that's what people are saying. But like when you say like things like a relationship or whatever, it sounds like you guys were almost friends.
I mean, we were friendly, right?
Okay, I got you.
Like I'm not disputing that. Like I was friendly to her.
That's fair. I'm just trying to establish what was essentially going on. But I guess
Himpleton, it's time to leave the goblin DMs. Okay.
Were you so conflicted? So why were you so conflicted about cutting her off then? If it was like purely.
Also, right, I'll tell you another thing as well that Himpleton is not fucking recognised here. This goblin retard.
How do I make money off depressed people?
Shud, it's time to give the Dark Viper take on Himpleton. He is raped. He has been raped.
Bro.
To femboy hooters, never to
Okay.
get the YouTube
Bro.
back.
Yo.
Pathetic excuse of a
Hey.
content creator.
Yo.
Fuck off
Hey.
into non-existence.
I don't want to talk about the R. We're not talking about the R in this, okay? Oh, but I will say thank you for the 333.
I'll
anyway, I
talking
can't remember
about
what I was gonna say.
grapes here, okay?
It wasn't I was conflicted about cutting her off. It's that I mean, and I don't even think that's what's at dispute here. Unless you're talking about something different, and then correct me if I'm wrong. But like for me, it was more just about.
Right, I know what it was. Goblin. So here's the dynamic, right? Very simple. Goblin has been in this group with Kumo, Kumo's partner, Cine Bear, in this group chat, trying to like make the Cine Bear situation better, the Cine Bear support group, okay? That has crumbled. Like wet sand at a beach. It is fucking flimsily crumbled around the place. And it's fucked and it's done. Right? And what Goblin is trying to do is find a new way to latch on somewhere. And so from Goblin's perspective, they're looking at Himpleton and they're seeing a soft touch and they're thinking, oh, if I'm nice to this guy, maybe I can get in with him. Right? Trying to escape the stink of the last controversy they've just been fucked over. You know? Oh, we'll get to Evan. We will get to Evan in a bit. Don't you worry. That's in Beckett's video. That's in Beckett's video coming up. But yeah, it's this like desperate attempt to escape it. And Himpleton is like, you know, come on in with open arms. Yes, don't worry, I'll look after you. And it's like, no, this person is like fucking radioactive and you don't want them anywhere near you. You want to be saying to them, look, you know, if you want to send me stuff, that's fine. But I'm very concerned about this controversy you've just escaped. And, you know, I don't think we can really move beyond that or something. Or just ignore them. I don't know.
Or what feels like kind of is at stake here, or what's being talked about is like more like the way that I handle talking about her getting banned to her. And
bro, he's done it again. He's doing it again. Why? Put a camera in the Discord and throw that up. Why have we got to fucking see Ant Himpleton the Ant-Man up here now? This is fucking crazy, dude.
You know, again, like that's just
Ant-Man.
Like me not wanting to fucking not wanting her to think that that I hated her at this time that I knew was very stressful for her. And so instead
Dude,
of
he
just,
has
like,
so much negative
handling it with,
space still he could fill up.
You know,
If he
tact or
still
whatever,
if he wants
I
to do it this way, he could still
shat the
make
bed
it much
and was
bigger.
retarded.
do you, like, is that sort of attitude representative of the conversations you're having with Jar and how you're treating that relationship?
Can you elaborate just a little bit? I'm sorry.
Well, you're saying you don't want to let Goblin down, but you just view Goblin as content. And I mean, like that's an interesting way to put somebody who is, you know, at the center
but that's
of
not
a
okay. Well,
but it doesn't go further than that. But you're still letting somebody down easily. Like if I've got a relationship with somebody who's purely content, or like majority content, like we're not hanging out, we're not friends. It's like, okay, cool. Well, we've just hit a point where I'm not working with you anymore. It doesn't need more than that.
Bro, there's so many kind of conversations like that where you just stop talking and nothing happens and you just stop talking to each other. And Beckett, dude, see, this is the thing. Although Beckett does get involved in a lot of shit dramas, he's very experienced, okay? Beckett may be repeatedly hopping in the septic tank, but I tell you what, he's not half good at clearing one, okay?
But at the same time, my question is, you're having these conversations with Jar. You're saying, well, you know, you're a listening
He's
ear
hit
for
that
him.
right.
That's helping you with your own stuff. I mean, if 10 out, you know, you said you had 10 calls. I'm assuming these are multiple hours on. So if you dropped a 20-hour video with Jar's calls, would it is this representative, like you're like almost leading Jar to kind of, oh well, I don't want to be too mean to him, or are you kind of cutthroat with him and being like, well, this is content, we're trying to get to the truth here? Like how does that relationship look?
Okay, well, so you just said a lot there, so I'm just going to address that kind of one at a time, if that's okay.
Sure.
So like first of all, I didn't view Goblin as content. She like
Okay, dude. So he's got the little Discord as a source in OBS or whatever he's using, and he's popped it out. He's put it on the stream. Now he's clicked on the camera and made it bigger. Great, but you're still way bigger than the guy. Dude, is it his lack of knowledge? I think it's lack of knowledge. I think Aiden just doesn't know how to do this. I just don't understand what's so complicated about this. You literally pop it out, throw your camera up as a virtual cam, and you're in.
like brought me information and stuff like that. And like I said, I was friendly with her. And even if things were
Yes,
kind of
I can, in fact.
like more in a professional sense, like she,
Hang on.
you know, when I knew that things were going really badly for her, I reached out to make sure she was like okay, but that was the extent of like personal stuff that happened. Just more like, hey, are you okay? Like that kind of thing. And when I knew that she was in this turmoil, even though like, yes, we had like not a huge friendship or whatever, I was just wanting to like I still have empathy for the situation, if that makes sense.
Well, hang on, I can do it better.
And,
I can do it better. Hang on.
You know, was worried on that level.
Hold up.
Where, you know, I know what you mean. Like, I don't think I should have necessarily been, but that's how I was at the time. And
I hate this floor.
I just like, you know, she
Wait, why isn't it working?
was going through a lot, and she was, you know, not being like schizo, but she was just like ranting a lot about just kind of different stuff that she was going through, and I was concerned that I would, you know, just add to the kind of fucking spiral if she like somehow thought that I hated her or something, and so I handle it like a fucking retarded pussy. And so with Jar, I haven't led him on to things, but then at the same time, I haven't necessarily.
Oh,
I don't know, like,
now they're so tiny.
I
You
want
guys.
to push on this. When you say you haven't led Jar onto things,
You can't
I mean,
even
you're
see
having
it.
multiple calls with him. We know how
No.
well, you know how Jar works from talking to him and looking into him. Like, is he aware of that, or is he viewing you as a friend?
I am almost positive that he views this as like a pretty just like business.
Okay, all right. I gotta
business
jump
thing.
in here.
But, like,
I gotta jump in here. I'm sorry. I really do. Let's be complete. Let's be. I'm not trying
The
to fucking own you or anything.
narcissist.
Let's be just like
Meta.
100% transparent here. You do know that he views you as a friend because you did say to me that anyone who
Dude,
shows
can't
Jar
be
attention, he's just the guy is so desperate for
Too
friends.
funny.
He'll talk to you and
Stupid,
show him
okay?
a
This
little
is
bit of
so
attention.
stupid.
It's like that's like when you were selling this to me. That's
That's
what you said.
hilarious.
I know, but wait. Like, that's not me saying. That's not me saying that like he views me as like a friend in so much as he like wants to talk to me because he.
Oh wait, so wait, they actually talk about the thing. Okay, this is actually relevant to my concerns here. So let's just roll it back quickly. Hang on.
Anyone who shows Jar attention, he's just the guy is so desperate for friends. He'll talk to you when you show him like a little bit of attention.
Yes.
It's like that's like when you were selling this to me. That is what you said.
Yes, correct.
I know, but wait. Like, that's not me saying. That's not me saying that like he views me as like a friend in so much as he like wants to talk to me because he like just automatically assumes that there is some level of like something. I don't know. I don't even think I'm making sense. But like, that's not me saying that he like thinks we're like besties. Like that's not what I meant by that.
But you knew that by talking to the guy, you knew the guy's pathology. You knew he was so desperate for friends that by telling him what he wants to hear, which it definitely sounds like you were doing for the sake of content, he was gonna like latch on to you and give you everything you wanted.
There was never a point at which I was telling him what he wanted to hear. Like my first call with Jar is already like completely leaked, or part of it has. And you know, a lot of people have watched it. I think it gives a very good idea of what those sounded like, those calls. A lot of what I did was just clarify.
How many of these calls are there? How long in real hours has this guy spoken
It was
to
like
just
10,
a robot?
right?
Just a robot is like a carnival sideshow and should be treated as such. He's not someone that you want to repeatedly have lots of conversations with. Is it 10 calls, dude?
and ask for information, and
20 to 30 hours at a guess. Wait,
Bro, imagine.
20 to 30 hours. That is a guess. Why? Why are you spending so much time talking to this fucking dude? Oh my god, man. Hey, Moreau is also touting the 20-hour figure too. Okay. 20 hours over 10-ish calls, I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Sick.
Totally raped. Totally and utterly raped.
like I mean, a lot of just info gathering. But
Do you know,
like
think Jar has said things to you that he wouldn't have said if he didn't think you were friendly?
I mean, that just feels a little loaded because of the fact that like I don't feel like he would talk to many people right now, period, if they weren't kind of coming on with a like non-hostile attitude, if that makes sense. After like especially after the Chud stuff.
Yeah, but I said this to you. I've said this to you in VC. The way you went about getting his trust was outright deception.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Which is
How
why
do I make money
because
off depressed people?
They're goon brothers. They happen to click. Leave them alone.
Thank you for $5 Canadian. I'm going to seem like a narcissist, but I just... What did he say about the Chud stuff? Sorry.
The fact that like I don't feel like he would talk to many people right now, period, if they weren't kind of coming on with a like non-hostile attitude, if that makes sense. After like especially after the Chud stuff.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I
I
said this
see.
to you. I've said this to you.
So
in
he's saying that he was being nice to him so he could actually have a conversation. And if you're hostile, he's not going to want to talk, basically.
VC. The way you went about getting his trust was outright deception. Which is why, because you made him think that you were on his side completely. When Jar came and DM'd me.
Okay, I got to be real with you. I don't really care about like the deception part. I'm just like whatever. Okay. Like if you want to talk to someone, it's about how you use the information you get and all this stuff. Deceiving someone in this way, I'm not super bothered about. Really, I don't think. Also, Jar DM'd Aiden. Oh my god, dude.
I think Aiden DM'd Jar.
He called you hostile. Well, I was fairly hostile in that conversation. Well, at times. I tried to be honest with you, I found I struck quite a decent balance, but, you know.
Thinking that I was on his side, which is how it was sold. I corrected him saying, no, I don't agree with you at all on this. But I would like to, I get that people don't word themselves very well in the moment on streams, as you did with Chud, so I'd be willing to hear out a response when you come up with it, which is what I really believed. So I wasn't really deceiving him on that. You made him think that you were going to help him get out of this, right? Or like try to help him with this, right?
Okay. I don't know, like, if I've just been, like, butchering the shit out of it when I talk about it, but, like, you watch the first call.
Dude, it's because this guy, like, talks in just fucking loops. He, like, he speaks so long to say, like, nothing, I think. Maybe I just can't follow what the fuck he's saying.
My, like, viewpoint and the way that I operate with it is pretty clear. I have a bunch of criticisms for him. I have a bunch of questions. Like, I make it clear that there's quite a few things in the video
Okay, why are you speaking to this guy privately to issue criticism? If you've got criticism of this guy, just talk about it publicly in your content. Like, this is what I think about the Jar situation, blah, 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 blah. You know, what is this fucking narrative of like, oh, I need to go to him privately and speak to him about what my criticisms are? Like, it seems like you're doing that because you're trying to, you know, elicit or push some sort of relationship, surely. Because there's no need for that private level of communication when you're both YouTubers and you can just say your piece, you know. Like, what is the purpose of expressing that to him privately then? There must be some reason for that. Because otherwise you just say it on your stream.
I do not agree with.
Yeah.
I also...
Because he's trying to get the
when he
inside
explains certain
scoop.
things, I'm
It's
like,
that
oh, okay,
simple.
well, you know,
Why
we
doesn't he just say it?
Especially
Yes,
without
he's
context.
being like
I've been hopping on that
kind of
stream, that clip,
manipulative and
and
cringe
laughing about
and
doing gay ops and then speaking to
dumb.
Jar behind the scenes to help with his response.
Just admit it.
And he was going to get a call out over it. That only, you know, further muddies the water, and he's tried to say, oh, it's just meant to be a private joke between friends. This Himbleton guy is someone who uses the idea something's a joke to skirt away from being challenged on something he said that's serious. So yeah, I don't know, dude.
To kind of hear that in like, a response. Like, the fucking thing about the editor putting the casting couch stuff in there. But like I haven't, and I've been pretty consistent about the fact that like I haven't said anything about like, you know, I'm gonna like ease him through the controversy or anything like that. Like,
yeah, also, yeah, exactly. What other Jar 10 happened that further criticism needed to happen besides Beckett's video or what has already been covered on other people's channels? Like, yeah, exactly. Nothing else has happened. Everything about the Jar stuff has been, you know, put out there, milked, even on this very channel. Like, there's nothing else really to say about it. Jar tremendously fucked up. and he needs to respond now, not only to his original fuck up, but people have come forward with allegations and taken advantage of the opportunity to air up their dirty laundry with him. And it's like, yeah, like, so that's why I think it's so odd that he's acting like it's crazy to say that he's working with Jar on the response, because it's like, well, it seems like you are. Because what are the reasons you have to spend hours and hours on calls with him talking about what you think his mistakes were privately? Well, that seems to be in
Maybe they're in
preparation for some
love.
sort of response video,
Who
no?
knows?
Like, he's also been like very clear that he is doing that alone, right? The bit, like the whole thing that people use or have used or whatever, like where they're like, oh, like he's bragging about getting a shout out, like blah, blah, blah. I was brutalizing that. Like it's not a shout out per se, in so much as he's using the first call, which is again public, that he had with me, where I basically convinced him that Cindy Bear actually was a groomer. He's
right. See, this is what is so crazy about this, okay? You've got to spend an hour explaining to just a robot with all the logs out there why, you know, there's a good argument that, like, she's a groomer. Not even convincing him that she is a groomer.
ZZ?
Remember in that call, first of all, just a robot was still resistant to the idea that it was grooming. And it's like, if someone can't come to that conclusion themselves by looking at all of the DMs, and you've got to spoon feed it to them for an hour, they're not worth your time. Literal waste of time. After everything that's happened, he's still fucking arguing a toss about the grooming thing. It's just like, bro, this guy's hopeless.
Using that to show like that's what caused him to kind of change his mind on things. So like it's really just a
I managed to convince a total retard that what is pretty obvious grooming was grooming. Well done, mate. Good job. Like, what are you doing, bro? If anything, it's funny if he comes back and tries to argue that it isn't grooming again, because that'd be better content.
Actual clip. So, you know, I think it's about as much of a shout out as Beckett's video, except obviously kind of different tone, but yeah, dude, I'm being like so serious right now. I'm like fucking exhausted, so I'm very sorry if I'm realizing any of this.
No, I get it, and I get not everybody's good in the moment. So,
sure.
Like if you, I'm not trying to like, I'm not doing debate bro mode here or whatever. Like I get not everyone's good in the moment. And like obviously, if like at a time you get better sleep, if you want to come back on and clarify.
Bruh.
Aiden, bro, what are you, dude? This is total cancerous. Like, oh, hope you're okay, mate. Don't worry about it, bro. This guy's a total loser. Why are you being so nice to him? Oh my god, dude. I really wish I'd have. I was up last night as well. I think at this time. What time is this? 11 hours ago. Maybe not actually. I might have been asleep. Well, what was that? 2 a.m. I might have been awake. Dude, if only I'd known, I'd have come on and fucking brought some content, probably. Probably. I mean, who knows? But I'm pretty sure that this could have been some content if I was in there. Not all this fucking, oh, if you want to come back a bit later when you're not so sleepy.
Always, like I'm trying to be just very fair here. I haven't really taken like a solid position. But
sure.
I'm just saying, essentially, like based on the way you worded the jar thing to me, it did sound like indistinguishable for the sake of getting content. Which, to be honest, I don't think that's the end of the fucking world. You're not the first small commentary spurg to go and do that. Okay, it's not the end of the.
You were hilarious on your Noir account. Something possesses me when I'm on the Noir account, and I actually specifically switch over to the Noir account so that I can get this energy. And I just all caps schizo post. It's just so I can't stop myself from doing it.
World, but I just wish you would kind of like say it. Yes, I was gay upping jar because I wanted content, which is you know, obviously it's like it's sneaky or whatever, but that's not the end of the fucking world if you're being upfront about it here.
Well, here's my thing, Aiden. Like, I'm not trying to not be upfront about it. The thing is, like, obviously, I'm not like speaking to Jar because I want to be like I want to talk to him. You know what I mean? Like, it's I never even thought that it's like a question of whether this is for content and information and stuff like that. Like, I've always been the purpose was always to gather information. I've made that clear to Jar. That's my thing.
But you weren't upfront with him about everything. Well, can you say that? You were like, you definitely played things to gain his favor, like said things differently, maybe that you might not have believed.
Oh my god, dude.
I don't know.
The hamster wheel's turning in this guy's fucking head, dude. I'm gonna put 1.25 because this is fucking stupid.
I never at any point I'm like, dude, I agree with you, like your entire fucking like video, or like, dude, like I'm like genuinely like, well, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm genuinely like searching my like the interactions and like trying to like think of a time where I would have said something that's like untrue to him. Like the only, like I literally can't think of anything that I've said to him that is untrue. I guess.
Oh my god, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Can you? Is there any way you could like phrase that in a different way? Like, I just don't exactly know what you mean.
Dude.
Okay, so you admit you're talking to Jar for the sake of obtaining information.
I'm
That's common ground
ruining
figure out.
this run.
For the sake of obtaining that information, was there ever a time you like overplayed maybe how much you supported him, or said something in a way more favorable to him than what you actually to gain his support?
I literally cannot think of a single time that I did. I definitely was. I mean, I think more than anything, I was just like kind of reserved. Like instead of being like, you know, if he said something that weirded me out or whatever, right? Like I wouldn't just be like, well, what do you like? What the fuck? Like that's bad. Like I just wouldn't necessarily say anything about it, or just be like, oh, okay. Like
Okay,
so I guess within itself, like that is not fully transparent because I mean, I guess like
Do you think there's any response Jar can give to the stuff that's been said about him?
yes.
Okay. So you think there's, I don't know, like a...
Bro. I mean, the response, I mean, I guess there is a response, but it's, I was totally wrong and retarded. And, you know, obviously there's other stuff that's come up that he needs to talk about. You know, the what is it, dude? That image of the fucking fart thing. I don't know, dude.
plausible deniability or a level where he's like not as culpable as people are painting him?
I'm not gonna lie, man. You'd kind of have to be a little more specific.
Okay, do you think that there's an excuse for Jar befriending Cinebear to try and build up a content group? Because that's what Jar was doing, just to be clear. Because I've spoken to a couple of other people who know Jar, who were like, yeah, we can, and Jar was like, we can bring Cinebear in as part of our new group, because he's trying to rebuild the ACC friendship group. It's like, that was his intention. And it seems like he was quite happy to overlook everything Cinebear had done just to achieve that goal. Do you think there's a way around that for Jar?
I think that the big thing for me was that, like, once he learned the facts that I gave him in that first call, that is what he needed to understand that she was a groomer, or at least that's what he presented to me.
Okay, so your argument here, just to be clear, so you're saying you presented facts to Jar that Cinebear was a groomer, and that's why he had a turnaround.
That is, yeah, I mean, it's in the video, like, it's public. Like,
well, I mean, okay, part of the problem here is like how Jar works, and this is why, like, looking at this, I'm like, okay, you've got a situation where you've got access to Jar, you're having multiple conversations with him, and kind of helping him through his response, saying, yeah, there's ways he can respond. But Jar, in this case, was very much caught with his hand in the cookie jar of how he generally behaves. This isn't unique to Cinebear. This is just how Jar behaves. So if you're talking him through and going, well, oh no, he realized Cinebear was a groomer. My argument would be, he wouldn't care. Like Jar doesn't care if his friends do things wrong. He only cares that they're his friends and they will have a kind of giving relationship with him. You can actually see that in his DMs with Goblin. It's like, oh, you know, you need to come in my comment section and fight for me. So like, how much pushback realistically are you presenting? Where you're just going, well, Jar didn't know actually the definition of groomer after being like involved in multiple like pedo hunt dramas, and now he does. We can kind of forgive that. There's a point of moving past.
I mean, you know, the problem with this whole thing as well is Jar in his video stated himself.
Ooh, it's freezing. I gotta turn the heater on.
This 14-year-old person porn, but it was censored. Like, this guy's so fried in his brain that he's willing to do that and make crazy arguments like that in the purpose of, you know, helping Cinebear out, as shown in the DMs. It's like, he's fucked. Like, he's just a total moron. And, you know, he clearly puts... I think Beckett is right in what he's saying. He wants to have this friendship group. He probably wanted a bit more from Cinebear, right? As we all have seen. But he puts that beyond actual, rational, reasonable perspectives on things. Yeah, dude, bro. Oh my god, the fucking, the video, the Bungie video does that really well, doesn't it? And it's like, well, this guy, so he thought that this person admitting that they groomed was actually a sign that they hadn't. Dude, what possible response can you have to someone that is, you know, that's the line of reasoning that they're taking on this sort of thing? Oh, they said they did something, so immediately I assume they didn't, and then find everything you can to point in the other direction. Even though there's so much to point to it being, you know, at least having, at the very least, even if you don't want to say, I don't think it's full-blown grooming, you can say there's signs of grooming there, or there's points of grooming you could point to of sending porn, you know, lengthy conversations about fetishes, or whatever. You can soften it a bit if you want, but fundamentally, there are signs there of grooming that makes it totally pointless to end it. The only proper response is prompt crystallization. Very true.
Wait, sorry, was there a question there? Like, I think the thing that I'm, geez, sorry. I mean, that first call, again, public, shows, you know, me giving additional information that,
Oh no, here comes Xylee. Xylee, let's go! Xylee's gonna bring the pain.
A lot of people, including fucking Kuma, until I told them about it, but like, the stuff about, for instance, the long calls that they had where, Sinning got, you know, to read the comic out loud. That was one of the examples that I gave. Another one was just pointing out that the NSFW art that
Yeah, sure, Beckett. If you got anything, send it through.
Anna was drawing was like some of it was directly related to the comic, and those two things, I guess, along with the way that I explained it, was what, like, or at least the way that he presented it to me was what convinced him that like it was this like morally bad thing, and that like Sydney was this.
But that's how John
rumor.
works. It just sounds. So what you're describing.
I mean, I understand that. I understand. Wait. I just want to respond to the rest. I'm sorry. The other thing that I just want to say is like I did not help him with his response. I have not helped him with his response. Like I haven't in any way been like you should do this and you should not do this.
He seems to be.
Wait a second. If Jar is coming into a call with you, and you are having to convince him that what happened was grooming, well, that could be something that is helping with his response. No, reasoning out perspectives on something so that his response can then clarify. Well, no, you know. And he can even reference that call, could he not? If you're saying that you're the one that convinced him, he could reference the call and say, I said it wasn't grooming. This Himbleton guy, I spoke to him, and he told me these reasons it's grooming. So you were already helping him with his response by doing that, you know? And because it's, yeah, I don't know, like, that in and of itself is helping. And who knows what other parts of the conversation we haven't seen in all these times. Like, I just don't buy this idea that in all this other time that they've been talking, there's not other moments that would have helped with the response. This seems so delusional to me.
Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. You're saying a lot of goddamn words that mean absolutely nothing. You've been in this. You've been in 10 calls with that motherfucker, and has he fallen asleep to you, Himbleton?
No.
Let's go.
No. What kind of shit are y'all talking about in those other 9 calls?
So I've
Yes.
And don't give me the long form. Give me the short form.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. This is the kind of energy I would have probably brought in. Okay.
So I'm doing a June the King style retrospective on Jar.
Mm-hmm.
And like of all his drama career and stuff.
Does he know that?
Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. And so, you know, a good 3 or 4 of those calls haven't even been related to his like quote-unquote response.
Okay. This guy's so fucking retarded. And the stuff with Goblin shows that he's not very good at managing these kind of dynamics either. If he is talking to you, and it's apparently that you're doing this retrospective on him, you're getting information out of him that's going to help make your retrospective better. That is a two-way street. So what is he getting out of you if it's not any sort of assistance as you're trying to claim with his response video? Why is he talking to you at length if he doesn't feel like there's something that he's getting out of that? That's completely delusional, bro.
And stuff like that. They've been talking about his past dramas. I'm also doing a video on a former editor of his named Josh the Josher. So a good amount of our stuff has been about that.
Okay, so you're helping a guy who was defending a groomer that you could quite frankly see in the DMs that she was grooming that 14-year-old, and you befriended a stupid bitch who was in a group chat in a support group for said groomer. It's kind of funny how those two things relate, huh?
Okay, so first of all, I'm not helping Jar. Second
What
of
are
all,
you getting a shout out for then?
Okay, so I've already explained this once. I'll do it
I
again.
know,
It's
but
totally
you took a mile to walk 2 feet.
Huh?
Also, you know, you don't need to speak to Jar to do a like this narrative. I'm doing a retrospective, right? Maybe you would have one conversation with him for an interview that you'd use in the retrospective, but that isn't even necessary. You could just look at all the public information, his videos, drama, everything, and you could do a retrospective based on everything that's public. So I don't buy this narrative of, oh, I'm speaking to him because I've got to do a retrospective. That sounds like cope. There's something else going on there.
You took a mile to walk 2 feet. You
Okay.
a bunch of words that
Let me
didn't mean
TLDR.
shit.
I'm sorry. I'm very tired. I'm sorry. Let me
Yeah, so
TLDR.
am I.
I know. I get it.
You're very tired, so we talk more.
I'm just. Let me
God
TLDR.
bless if you're
Also,
tired.
I mean, a retrospective, sure, but like we're missing. Yeah, it's like this. I guess you could say you're starting to work on it, right? But like, he's not even responded yet, so you're kind of a little bit tuned to this.
Basically, it's in the first call. I basically just clarify and explain to him why Cindy Bear is a groomer, in my opinion, using evidence that he hadn't seen yet.
Whoa, Himbleton, we got that. Everybody saw that call.
Yeah, so that's what's being used in the video, and it's not a shot of him so much as like what I said to Becca. Like it's.
Wait, so you've had a call with him that's being used in his response video, and you're trying to argue that you're not helping him with his response, or are you giving him? This is fucking crazy. You were giving him content that he's going to use in his response. That's directly helping with the video.
Going to be as much of a shout out as like Becky gave to me. It's just reference.
So basically what you're saying is, so you went to your friends, Flatley and them, and you talked a bunch of shit trying to basically, I guess, clout grab or brag to them and talk shit to them? Is that what you did? Because you can't have, because you said you would get a shout out, and the way you were talking, you were like bragging to them.
So Flatley and Ant are like very well informed on like everything that's gone on with that. And I very frequently like fuck around, like joke around with them about like what's going on. Like Ant and I have like really talked a lot about it, and you know, to the point where it's almost become like a little bit of an inside joke. And you know, I mean, I guess you could say that it was
Talking
clout.
shit? Talking shit?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you were
sure.
talking shit. Like you were talking shit, trying to get Queeman on to debate you with fucking Flamenco as his partner.
Oh
Nope.
God, I forgot about that as well.
Yeah.
That was another crazy thing that he did.
That would
Where
have been
basically,
insane.
It was about
Dude.
Chugga Conroy, I think.
I can't believe he
Was it
tried to
Chugga
do
Conroy?
that.
And he was trying to get Queeman on to debate, I think that, or something else, some other controversy, but with Flamenco as his debating partner. You know, obviously, dude, he's such a fucking slimy, right? Obviously, the reason he's doing that, dude, he was doing that because he wants Queeman to be weighted with having had a debate on the same side as a controversial person in the community. Right? He's trying to fuck him over. He's trying to fuck him over by hanging the anchor of this controversial person around his neck to debate a controversial topic. He wanted Queeman to look bad. Dude, total wretched snake behavior from this guy. Trying to surreptitiously operate in a way to discreetly make Queeman look bad, to try and crush his burgeoning career. So then people would do the thing. Oh, remember when Queeman had that debate about a controversial topic and he had Flamenco? Right? That's the fucking attempt there. Next up, our 2v1 debate, Chad Logic and Bill Cos. Okay. Are you sad you're missing the Mr. Savage meeting? I don't know what that is.
Knowing how that would have looked to the community because you're a snake.
Yes, true.
That's what snakes do.
funny.
That's what snakes do, bro.
Okay. Like, dude, if you actually think that... like, do you think that I think, like, Queeman is that stupid that he would fucking accept that?
Why would you even ask him? Because what if he would have said yes?
It was the
would
very
you go
beginning.
through it?
No, wait. It was the very beginning of me, like, streaming. I was a fucking shitter retard. And literally...
You still are a shitter retard. Look at you now.
It was just a joke. It was just a joke, guys. I was just joking about putting a fucking anchor around Queeman's neck that would haunt him for years to come. Okay? I was just joking about that. Dude, Xylee is absolutely wrecking this dude.
Massa. Because what if he would have said yes?
It was the very beginning. No, wait. It was the very beginning.
Dude, we should do a thing for this with, like, you know... We should do a thing of, like, you know, small shitter channel tries to destroy Jew or something. I don't fucking know.
Oh my god.
Small shitter tries to hollow person outside pressing the button. Right? You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Those jokes are dank.
I was a fucking shitter retard. And literally...
You still are a shitter retard. Look at you now.
Yeah, I mean, fair point.
You literally gave me an apology that was a fucking copy and paste to Beckett's. Because you didn't...
Queeman should be cancelled for his lolly defending. Queeman doesn't defend lolly. Okay? Right? I think the point that Queeman makes is that there's sometimes like an overreaction to certain things. Tantamount to it being the same as a real image of a child getting abused. He doesn't fucking support it. He doesn't, like, approve of it necessarily. I'm not sweeping. Go and listen to him talk about it, okay? I'm fairly certain that, you know, he agrees with the perspective that, like, you know, consuming it is like, okay, there's something off about you at least, right? Am I wrong about this? I'm pretty sure he has this perspective. I think we've spoken about it before. And I'm pretty sure he's agreed that, like, yeah, there's a kind of question mark over someone's behavior if they're consuming it. It's just people act like looking at it is the same thing as looking at an abused, you know, CSAM, actual CSAM material of a child getting abused. And he's saying it's not the same as that. I'm pretty sure that's all he's saying. Could be wrong about that. I could be wrong about that. But that's my understanding of it, okay? And he just hates the crazy outrage about it all the time, you know?
didn't have the balls to come up with new words to say to me.
Well, I mean, I was apologizing for the same thing, Tyler.
GG. GG. Oh, wait, where did Evan get...
It's look, okay. Dude, why do people are so fucking annoying with this. It's looked at with the same exact... Right.
He's getting one guide.
Queeman can explain his takes on this if he wants to fuck it. I'm sure he's done it somewhere, you can look at it, okay? But obviously, I've got to state it. You know, it's like a softer version of the wood chipper meme. You know, or, guess what, guys? We don't like pedophiles. And it's still, oh, it's so gross and horrible. It's for pedos. It's like, bro, yeah, sure. I don't necessarily disagree with some of the takes there. But you're acting, like, excessively outraged about it. Beyond what I think is reasonable, you know?
Never.
So you've never spoken to Evan, so he probably got that from Goblin then.
I guess so.
Okay. And you were agreeing with us about Goblin, because Becca
yes.
Dude, I'm ruining
AICP is, you know, if it's particularly if it's indistinguishable from real CSAM.
Bro.
I mean, yeah, that's like, you
He's
know,
really
even clearer
stuck
example.
on this.
With like the bigger people. So in his eyes, as someone who was there, like you would be, bigger.
Bruh.
I mean, I'll also say that.
Why I didn't want to do this.
I'm just being fair. I'm
just talking to Himpleton right now.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm moderating.
What did Aiden say there?
And so you've never spoken to Evan, so he probably got that from Goblin then.
I guess so.
Okay, and you were
I'm getting
agreeing with us
distracted
about.
by defending Queeman, okay? By gun guarding Queeman. Hang on a sec. Sorry. I've been Jew guarding too much.
Share retard. And literally,
You
so,
still are a shitter retard. Look at you now.
yeah, I mean, fair point.
You literally gave me an apology that was a fucking copy and paste of
Oh,
Beckett.
I can't believe I lived. That was
Because you didn't have the balls to come up with new words to say to me.
Well, I mean, I was apologizing for the same things.
Okay. What is this? This comes up later when Xylee joins. He copy-pasted his apology to me for Xylee. So this is Becca that sent me this. So this is his DM to you, right? I was retarded to throw you under the bus when I was clearly agreeing with you the entire time and actually brought up feeling sussed out by her. I just didn't want her to think I hated her because she was being crazy depressing in my DMs. Not an excuse, just my dumbass reasoning. Either way, I'm sorry about that, and I get if you're annoyed or feel snaked or don't believe me. If there's any way you could send the VOD where we had a conversation in the first place, I would really appreciate it. Since it's no longer public, I just appreciate being able to clear some things up for people, want to own being a retard and move on. Okay? And this is to Xylee. Sent this to Beckett and thought I sent it to you as well, my bad. And then just copy and paste it to you. Wow, what a personalised message, eh? And just copy and paste the same message. These speds are such sad sacks, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's crazy how pathetic these people are. Bro, I'll address this in my own time. That's fine, I was just reaching out to say. And how did he explain it?
Yeah, I mean, fair point.
You literally gave me an apology that was a fucking copy and paste to Beckett's. Because you didn't have the balls to come up with new words to say to me.
Well, I mean, I was apologizing for the same thing.
GG. GG. Oh, wait, where did Evan get blackball from?
I've never spoken to Evan.
So you've never spoken to Evan, so he probably got that from Goblin then.
I guess so.
Okay, and you were agreeing with us about Goblin, because Beckett had already talked to you about that. Yeah,
that's correct.
And then you ran to, okay, first of all, Beckett and I are not larger streamers. Like, we're tiny.
Compared to him, you are. Compared to him, you are, to be fair. You have, like, connections with, like, the bigger people. So in his eyes, as someone who was there, like, you would be, big.
Shut up, Aiden. God, Aiden, dude, I can totally see why people don't like this guy. He is just so irritating, and every time he talks.
Bro,
I mean, I'll also say that
why I didn't want to do this.
I'm just being fair. I'm just being fair.
I'm just talking to Himpleton right now.
Okay, I'm all right.
I'll also say that I was just trying to,
Dude,
like,
this is such cancer. Like, what Xylee saying is correct. Yes, this idea that bigger creators are putting pressure on them, and it's fucking Beckett and Xylee. No disrespect, okay? I see myself as a smaller creator, even though I've got like 1,000 viewers or whatever. Like, yeah, you're painting this narrative that these big people are squeezing you, and it's people that are not that far away in size that are saying this to you. Oh my god, dude.
I intentionally did not use anybody's name because I was being retarded and thought that it somehow wouldn't get back to anybody. And so, I was trying to kind of obscure who I was talking about.
But it came back to me and Beckett.
I know.
I don't think I was in chat, was I? I wasn't in chat for this. I wasn't here. Hi, Chud Logic. Oh, is Shelby doing the thing where they're guessing that I'm probably going to watch this and putting it in there? Is that right? Small for YouTube. Yeah. But I'm actually in the top whatever percent of
I ruined it.
Size, which is pretty cool.
I know. Like, it was retarded.
And you literally befriended someone who was in a support group for a groomer, and you thought you could fucking trust them, even to the point where she was talking about trying to help her get a gun, and you thought you could trust
I didn't know
her?
about any of that. First of all, I didn't know about any of the gun stuff. Befriending is like such a strong word, man. Like, I just...
Well, then why else would you give a fuck of how she feels about shit then? Because if I'm not your friend, I give two fucks how you feel.
Base.
Well, we're different people, Xylee. Like, I mean, the thing...
Bro, this is total cope. If you're worried about what's going to happen if you remove the person from your Discord and you're going to come up with some excuse, that is like, you clearly value that relationship. Otherwise, you wouldn't care, would you? You just fucking ban them and move on.
Yeah.
Dude, there's people I've spoken to previously for ages that message me something now, and I just fucking ignore them because it's not that, it's like whatever. Like, there's never really that big a connection that you can just ignore them and nothing happens,
Thing is, I knew that she was going through a lot. I knew, like, she was going through some like personal struggles outside of the Cindy stuff.
Yeah.
You're evil. What, some person that I used to speak to years ago has a look at my channel and goes, "Oh, he's doing quite well these days. Oh, how's it going, mate? Would you want to watch this little video that is going to be beneficial to put onto a big platform?" I mean, come on, dude. Give me a fucking break. The kind of people that just reach out and it's to ask for something from you after like a year or 2 years of not talking. I just find that just obnoxious behavior. I'm not really in for it,
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that. She ran a support group for
No,
I give two fucks about any of that.
That's fair, and I think that's
And had
understandable.
somebody on a stream, that was talking about how they were proud about doxing somebody. I don't give a fuck about her feelings.
Yeah, I didn't know about that either at the time.
Yeah, you know how to pick them, don't you?
Sure. So you know, I just knew about some personal shit. She was schizoing out in my DMs and kind of just like I don't know. I was worried. I was worried about what may happen if she thought I was like against her, and you know, like she was.
What do you mean
saying
you
a lot
were
of-
worried about? No, no, hold on. What do you mean you were worried about what might happen?
She just seemed she just seemed extremely like fucking like depressed. She was depressed, posting like a shit ton, and like
yeah, she's from the ACC. Like, okay,
Yeah, I
so
mean-
here's my thing with this. You're talking to Jar and you're talking to people like Goblin. You're asking for information stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. I've caught my fair amount of flack for getting off the truck during the safari, but you're saying, well, Jar has a route back. He didn't know something was groomer. You're making a June the King thing, but you don't really understand the ACC community. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't be making these fucking mistakes. Like, I have my DMs with Jar and then a call with Jar, and that's it. Because I understand, like, I've been around that little group long enough to know. Whereas what I see, and like, I guess the way I see it is this. Jar is using you as his little fucking test audience for, can I persuade people outside the ACC that actually, I didn't know I was innocent. I just didn't realize what a groomer was, which is what Jar always fucking does. He looks for new friends and then tries to basically side up with them. That's how he ended up in the fucking ACC in the first place.
By the way, I'll just point out as well, Jar, I feel, tried to do this with me a bit. Because after we had our big call, where, you know, it went crazy, he messaged me after and was like, oh, can we have a private call after stream? What? No. I didn't actually directly respond to that, but I just ignored it. But, yeah, he like, was seeking out private communication with me. And I just, you know, I first of all, I'm not going to spend my private time talking to someone of that nature. It's not really in my interest to do that, so why would I bother? And secondly, I had the suspicion of like, okay, I think this guy's trying to latch on a bit here, you know? So, ugh, no thank you, okay?
It's like, even if unintentionally, you are providing that support for him. Because of the way you seem to like have talked to Aiden about this, the way you've talked to Goblin, it looks like, you know, you're trying to, it looks like you're trying to, I don't know, at least foster a friendly-ish relationship. And it's like, well, how do we trust what comes out of you in the long term for that kind of video? Like, how do we know you're not biased?
For Jar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. What was always the plan is that like I was gonna, especially with all the kind of speculation surrounding the calls, I was always planning on, once I release the video, including all the calls so that people could comb through them. Obviously, like.
Oh wow, thank you. So you're gonna release 20 hours worth of calls that we got to dig through to find if there's anything that we would, you know, have an issue with. Bro, ain't nobody listening to that shit. 20 hours. Well, that's the guess of 20 hours. But
Two
fuck, there must
times
be quite
speed
a lot
it.
of hours of
10
runtime.
hours.
Who the fuck wants to sit there and listen to this fucking loser talk to just a robot for that long?
Yeah.
Like, it feels like he's doing this as like a transparency
could be
thing,
some funny
but no one's
stuff
gonna look
in
at it
there.
anyway. So what does it matter?
You know, if there's, I don't think there's anything like sensitive.
I mean, you think in terms of exposure. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. This isn't a criticism. Lots of us do. But you understand when you say, well, I'm gonna get a shout out, even
Some tiny spurg with 100%.
Yeah.
And then there's
that's
Beckett
me.
saying 48-hour Cope and Seed charity of course.
Yes.
if it's just like referential. In the same way that, you know, when anybody uses any of our stuff in like a video or something that's going to be like more widely viewed, that's going to bring attention to us, right?
Yeah.
So that, you know, and that motivation for you, because you want to grow, you want to do more things. It just feels like you want to play behind the scenes. I think Chud said it's like Colton-like behavior.
Well, but so Becky, here's my thing. Like,
yes,
I could have stopped at the first call and that still would have happened. Because again, like he's literally referencing something from the first call. That is the extent, at least from what I understand. I like again do not. I don't
Then why
know.
didn't you?
Sorry.
Then why didn't you stop at the first call?
Because I'm wanting to do this retrospective. I'm working on this Joshua video. I also initially was thinking that I could learn more information
Bro,
about just
what the
what
fuck?
was going
That's not me.
on, whether he was being
Dude.
really genuine about.
Bro.
What's your cross reference? Who else from the ACC? Have you
What
spoken
is
to?
this guy
Talk
doing?
loudly open. Loudly opening up a video game as you're trying to listen to this conversation. Absolute top tier. Grade A, grade S streamer. We're rating the streamer S.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you've got Jar's side of this, but who else have you spoken to?
About what?
About Jar.
I've spoken to people behind the scenes, but not like on the record.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
Like I wasn't planning on. Like
I mean, do you see what I'm getting at here? You're saying you're doing a retrospective of Jar's dramas, essentially from the perspective of Jar.
You're not talking to anybody else.
No, so-
This is so stupid.
Wait. So basically, what I'm doing right now,
He's turned it off.
or what I was
He's
doing,
turned it
was
off.
just pure info gathering. Like I haven't even gotten to the point of like scripting and starting to ask other people questions and stuff. Like that would inevitably happen, but like this is such early stage stuff. Like that. Like it's not coming out next month. You know what I mean?
What is it? A documentary?
That was the plan, like a June the King kind of.
Is this going to be like a Tro video where it's like 6 hours long? I mean, what is this?
I don't know about 6 hours, but it was planning. I was planning to be pretty exhaustive
I mean,
in terms
9
of talking
calls,
about
damn,
his.
bro.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, again, so like there are 2 different videos too. Like there's also the one where his editor, Joshua Josher, that's somebody that I'm looking into a lot right now. That's like the main video that I'm working on right now. And you know, he had a good amount of insight on that since he directly worked with him. And no, I'm not just talking to Jar about that, obviously. Yeah. Like obviously, I think it's very, 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 very clear that I was fucking stupid and reckless with the Jar thing. I think Beckett, what you were saying is on point about like me kind of jumping out of the fucking, like not just getting out of the Jeep of the Safari, but like fucking rolling in the grass.
Are you gonna play with Ada? Okay, don't say it like that. That's weird. And scold him. Yeah, of course. Listen, whenever we end up on the stream together, I'm gonna be forthright in my perspective on the absolute atrocity of repeated mistakes that you made during this stream, dude.
And trying to be one of the fucking animals without even really knowing.
Bro, this is so crazy, dude. It's real simple. The jar stuff happened, okay? I've milked it. We're still milking it now. It is what it is. The cow is fucking decrepit and dry. But anyway, it is what it is. Okay? But that happens. The stuff happens around it. You talk about that, right? Time goes on. He releases his response. You watch the response. You talk about that. Maybe he comes on stream to talk about it if you really want to go that way. Maybe. I don't fucking know. You don't need endless continue. And then if you want to do a retrospective, when that comes out, you look at it all and you go, I'm going to do a retrospective on this. Here's, you know, a few interesting, funny dramas that he was involved in. You know, boom. And then this happened, right? Here's the big crescendo, the Cindy Bear situation, the video, the DMs, everything.
Cheers,
You know,
everyone.
you
It's
don't
been a
need
minute.
this constant communication.
Cheers,
He's coping so
cheers.
hard about
Fade
this.
that hoe.
What possible communication do you need to have with him? We're having multiple calls that are like seemingly hours long. It's just complete bullshit, dude. You know, having done this for years, I've never seen that or heard of that before.
What I was doing, like I think I absolutely didn't put enough like thought or consideration into any of that. And I 100% see what you're saying about like, even if I didn't mean to, it is like still a form of support for him, and like kind of helping him. Like I see all of that. And you know, I'm not trying at all. I'm really sorry if it's come off this way. I'm not trying at all to deny or like act like I haven't
Well, this is better.
like fucked any of this stuff up. Like I'm in full recognition that I've been fucking retarded about this stuff. And you know that I haven't learned enough when it comes to Jar before dealing with him too.
Yeah, this guy does. I mean, you know, he looks like the kind of guy who's gobbling black flesh, doesn't he?
Bro.
Going to a gay bar at the night, bringing home a black guy, injecting acid into his brain and cutting portions off of his flesh and eating it. I must say.
I think that like that's very fair. I don't know. I'm rambling. I'm not.
I know.
into it.
Listen, I get you're tired. I told you this wasn't gonna be a debate. I know Xylee came in a little hot. Not saying Xylee said anything wrong, but I wanted to just ask straight up.
Bro, Aiden, dude, Xylee came in with the right level of heat for what is happening here. Okay, it was exactly the right level of heat.
Just like yes or no. Would you agree this was a gay up?
To Jar?
Yes.
You're a slop drama commentator, Judd. You'll never understand having to ground your axioms by providing strong ontological reductios. All you do is whataboutism and gish gallop. It's not something, dude. It's not something I'd be interested in watching on stream. It's too long. But I actually watched Sean's video about the Stellar Blade controversy. I was watching some of it last night, and you know, I guess there's still some semblance of it. It's a topic I'm interested in. I don't really like Grums. Stellar Blade sucks. The controversy about it was retarded, and I watched a bit of it, right? And there was one point where Sean had the fucking audacity to, like, you know, call other people lazy. And yeah, he was talking about, you know, slop channels, I guess, but he was more so talking about, you know, you get these channels and it's like there's one article that gets written that has got like one sentence in it that is like kind of woke, and then everyone jumps on it and makes all this content about it, you know, and people will tweet about it, and then people will talk about the tweet, and then people will react to the video of the person talking about the tweet. That's the kind of thing that he was talking about, right? But it's very audacious of Sean to make this kind of comment, because his channel was grown off the back of the labour of his ex-girlfriend. I don't know if you know this, but when him and his girlfriend split up...
Yeah.
What's that?
Okay. All right. That's you know, I didn't want to have to. I'm not.
Wait, but didn't you take that back though? Didn't you take it back that it was a gay op, that it really wasn't a gay op, and now you're saying it really is a gay op? So which one was a lie? That it was a gay op, or it wasn't a gay op, and now it's a gay op?
So I was answering it.
I think it's the same thing happened with Aiden. During the Cold Rose Discord kitten, he goes super soft because I think he's terrified of people leaving calls. I get that, but people are a bit more robust than you realise, and they can be knocked about a bit. And I'm telling you, this sort of like energy is generally not going to make people leave calls. It's going to have to be a very special case of someone who is like particularly soft that would make them leave the call, right? So normally there's warning signs as well. It's when people start saying things like, I mean, normally they just say it. If you keep talking to it like this, I'm going to leave the call. That's the sign to fucking, you know, pull it back a little bit, right? But yeah, Aiden could do with allowing more fractious and aggressive conversation because it would make it more entertaining.
In the yes or no question,
Mhm.
if I could expand on it, then I obviously would, and I would talk about how, you know, to me it's more about info gathering. To me, it's more about kind of all that stuff. But
But you said yes, it's a gay op. But you already took it back.
so
It wasn't a
no,
gay
but
op.
so purely definitionally, right? It is like a gay op in the fact that like the way that Aiden has presented it, when we've talked about it, is it's like, look, even if I'm kind of coming from a like not necessarily super judgment centered perspective, I am still like I'm there with the pure intention to info gather.
Yeah.
And so because of that, like it's not it would be defined as like a gay op.
Well, just to reiterate, I think my understanding of, based on my conversations with you, was that you overplayed your support for Just a Robot for the sake of getting in his good graces and getting early access to his response for the sake of getting info and content for your video. To what extent you overplayed?
I literally never understood why anyone liked Templeton. Hi, Kristen Ark. I mean, what did I say about him? I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to misquote myself.
All right. I don't think there's that much of this left. I want to see what Lyrics had to say about the crash.
Okay. My experience of Himpleton. Okay, this guy used to be on a couple streams. Okay. I first got into contact with him when the Mama Max stuff was happening, and he would donate a lot to the chat. He would donate in the chat. He would talk a lot. He would be active in the community. He isn't active as much anymore. In fact, that happened months ago. That he went away a little bit more. But I first got note of him then, and then he started donating, and he started like sending me a lot of like topics to cover on stream. Funny enough, actually, he got me to cover Plague Moth. He first submitted the topic for me to cover Plague Moth, which is pretty cool, and also sent me a bunch of stuff with Mama Max as well. So that part, I thought it was cool, and it was just like, hey man, I appreciate you donating to the streams, you supporting and sending in like interesting topics to go over. As time went on, apparently this guy's been going around saying he's my co-host to get friends.
Yes.
I'm sure she doesn't have a problem with me saying this, but like, fucking Xylee DM'd me like the other nights asking, hey, was Himpleton ever your co-host? Because apparently he's going around telling people that he was your co-host for the sake of trying to like make friends of people. What? First of all, what kind of status is being my retarded co-host give you? What do you get from that? What does that even? How does that make sense? So I didn't even understand where that was even coming from to begin with, but apparently that was happening. This guy was never my co-host. He was just like, he was a guy who supported the streams, who gave me topics to talk about, and yeah, that was it. And yeah. Apparently now he's having a crash out, but of some sorts. So that's my instance with him. That's what I know about Himpleton of some sorts. There was also this behind the scenes personal thing, which I'm not gonna show or talk about, but because of that because of that thing that happened like a few months ago, I started to distance myself a little bit more from like interacting with him in any way, because I just felt like it was probably the best. But I guess none of that matters now because he's kind of just getting fucked and I guess saying a bunch of stuff publicly too. So
That resists.
Jesus, what is this?
I'm trying
Dude. This guy went full
You're
Joker
pathetic.
mode.
Your tries
In a
are
leaked
pathetic.
voice call.
What?
Did you? You know what's so funny? You
What?
tried. The last
Lyrics is so
less than
confused.
24 hours. We've already been through this.
What is happening?
I've already heard this. But you smelled no, Stevie. You smelled blood,
Raped Joker?
and you got the taste in your mouth, and you
Dude.
just couldn't resist. That resists.
What's going on, Himpleton?
Dude,
What
he has
happened to this
no
guy?
idea. This guy has
What
no
happened?
idea. This is like 3 hours.
What is this? He was
of
not
this
like
guy
this
going crazy.
before. Okay, dude. And people are saying leak what I have. It's not even. Okay, it's just weird personal stuff, just oversharing about his life, which kind of just made me feel like, yeah, okay, I don't know if this guy is fully there. It's really not even that crazy or interesting, and it sounds like everybody kind of like is getting the grasp of things publicly now anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Okay, so we're gonna add in Aiden for a second to give some context and tell us what the fuck has been happening with this, and then we're gonna get into some leaked calls that were shown from this other like commentary spurg that apparently was blackmailing him, which resulted in all these crazy and insane
Oh,
clips.
dude, this shit was
Like,
so
have you ever seen that
funny.
episode of Black Mirror where that guy's getting like threatened and
Whoa, wrong
blackmailed?
one, dude. Wrong button, bro. I meant 1.25, not 0.25. So let's skip ahead a little bit here.
To go over. So yeah, okay. Let's get him in here. I'm getting DMs from somebody else. I wanna call in. I need context from you, apparently. Okay, Aiden is being fucking a loser. Okay, Aiden's not even picking up. I'm calling Mrao. Apparently Mrao is context. Okay, I'm calling Mrao. Let's see what Mrao's got for us. Because Mrao is involved one way or another too. I'm pretty sure Mrao is unironically the co-host of Himpleton of some sort. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, so Himpleton was your co-host, right?
Good
Ex-co-host?
fucking meme. Hey, okay, what is going on? I know you did a stream that was like 5 hours long or whatever, going over a bunch of shit.
It was 13 hours long.
Yeah.
13
things kept
hours?
coming out. Dude, lyrics, between me and
Dude,
you.
I was fucking. Okay, Mara went live. What was like late for me, and then I was like, watched it a little bit. He was doing. I forget what he was talking about in the beginning. I was bored, so then I went to bed, and I woke up at like 5 a.m. and I was like, go to my computer, and he's still live. I was like, what the heck is going on? And he was watching these calls, and he was at the part where this guy's just going Joker mode. It was the craziest thing ever.
Because this isn't live. This is a private call off the air. I made like $350 off of that shit, dude. That was so worth it. I'm so glad I like mentally tormented some guy for 12 hours straight.
Wait, okay, you know you're live, right?
What? We're live? Yeah, no, I'm jesting. Okay,
Okay,
come
here.
on.
Memes aside, what can you tell me what's been happening, or like what's your involvement here?
Okay, so I'll go pretty quick and then I'll answer specific questions. I'll give you like a very rough timeline, right?
Okay, yeah.
So my debate with Aiden happens, right? And after the first debate, Himpleton, for some reason or another, goes into this ZV guy's DMs and starts shit talking me for some fucking reason. I don't know why. I could not tell you why. Okay. Give me one moment.
Were you guys cool or whatever? I know you like weren't you the co-host or some shit of his show?
I was just on his streams. I wouldn't say co-host.
Okay.
I was as much of a co-host for him as he was a co-host for you. Okay.
All right.
Let me try to find this screenshot so I can show you. You can bring this up for some context when we talk.
Okay. So he shit talks you in DMs with somebody else. Apparently Aiden here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me, and then I'm gonna call Aiden too for any more context of his fucking shit.
Okay. So I'm gonna DM you this screenshot.
Can I show this?
So no, yeah, obviously all this is public. I sent you a Google Drive as well with a bunch. So what happens then is he starts trying to blackmail Himpleton, saying like, I know Mrao like will get upset if I show these. So I'm gonna send these to Mrao. I'm gonna send these to Chud Logic. I'm gonna send these to whoever. Like he apparently said some like really schizo shit in DMs. We don't know what he said yet. The DMs in specific have not been leaked.
Can't talk.
Apparently, he didn't even have an archive of the DMs. So Himpleton deleted his side of the DMs. This guy lied and said, I have the archive of what you said. I'm going to leak it. And then Himpleton just believed him.
Okay.
So he starts freaking out.
Here,
so
first,
the first-
what is this DM right here that I'm looking at that you sent?
So this is when I stopped talking to Himpleton, like a day or two after he has the blackmail shit. So he starts going... this is what he sent to ZV. He's like, Mrao burned the bridge with me last night and left my server. Went to DMs and called me a manipulative liar and then unadded me. After I've been sticking my neck out for him ever since I've known him and put up with so much retarded shit that he's pulled. And even Amos said the lie wasn't even a lie, making Mrao even more mad. He burned it over basically nothing. And God, it was such a slap in the face. So no, honestly, I don't give a shit if you make a part 2. I'm done helping this guy. So the part 2 is referencing ZV making a second video on me, or like a part 2 video on me, or
Holy
something
shit,
like that,
man.
right?
These people are too deep.
This
in
gets awesome.
man.
This gets awesome, dude.
Okay.
So he's basically the past week or the past like 3 weeks, I want to say, if my timeline is correct, he's been in DMs with ZV even before the Aiden call, but predominantly after the Aiden call. He's been shit talking me, and that's what's being used as blackmail. I
Just the
don't know
shit
why.
talking, or is there something else
Just the
too?
shit talking. Just the shit talking.
Okay.
I've been told that there was a second situation with some scammer who he sent nudes to, and then he was being blackmailed over that as well. But that's not connected to this guy. This is listen. You're gonna watch the call. It's gonna get rough in some places, but find solace in the fact that this is all over fucking Discord DMs. Okay.
Yeah, do you have timestamps for this fucking shit of like the good moments or interesting moments, or no? I'm gonna just fucking go into this raw.
Everything is interesting. Just 1.5 it. Put on some funny music in the background. I'll send you this call or this Google Doc. So this has don't you can't pull this up. I don't care, but it has timestamps. So skip to the 1 hour 16 mark in the first call if you want to skip the like crying and the trauma dumping, which I
Yeah.
personally did on my stream. I didn't want to air that shit out because I have my limits.
Okay, so yeah,
and
so so vaguely what I know is that like Himpleton was talking about a lot of personal stuff in relation to himself or something, and all of this was just on the basis that he was getting blackmailed, that he didn't want shit talking text messages about you coming out.
Yeah, so ZV essentially says, beg for me to delete the archive. And then Himpleton says, I'm not going to beg because when I was 5, my dad, and then you can fill in the blanks.
Okay.
It gets,
Okay,
it gets
Aiden,
really rough.
Aiden is saying
Well,
line.
that
Okay,
wasn't
is it
exactly
here?
what he said.
Alright, thank you for
but
context.
okay.
Thank you.
It was
Any
about
other
his
key things I need to know before
mom
getting into
or
this?
something. But yeah. Okay.
If you want to read the DMs,
And
the
a
first
lot
Google
other
drive
stuff.
I sent you has
It is really rough.
like everything that I covered yesterday.
Okay,
so
cool.
you have everything you need.
Approximately how much do you weigh, by the way?
Approximately how much do I weigh? My BMI is like 62.
What the fuck? Okay, there we go. Aiden. Calling Aiden. All right, what does Aiden got? Aiden, what do you mean he made shit up? Can I get?
And just so you know, we buried the hatchet last night, so.
It was we.
Yeah. Me and Morale.
Okay, cool. All right. So
Yeah,
was
so-
everything like that right? People were saying that Morale was trying to craft a narrative and he was benefiting from this. Did he say something wrong before I get into
No,
this?
okay. Here's what happened. There's like this big narrative. The thing Himpleton
Cheers,
didn't want
cheers.
leaked. The thing Himpleton didn't want leaked was his messages, shit talking Morale. When my understanding of that is that that's not what he didn't want leaked. The thing he didn't want leaked was already leaked when the call was played last night, so I guess it doesn't even matter. But like, he got like falsely accused of rape or something, and that wasn't, and the like, all the personal shit was aired out in that call last night, so it all went public anyway.
So you're saying there's more than just shit talking DMs he's being blackmailed with, which results in these
apparently
calls. How do you know that?
Yeah. Okay, I guess I should. Okay, I guess I should preface this by saying. Allegedly. That's the reason.
How do you know
So,
that? Where'd you hear that from?
It's been told to me by my sources.
Who the fuck is an anonymous source in this retarded shitter story?
I don't know, but do you know the blackmailer has a statement he wants me to read?
Is this that like Psycho V Quee guy who's like a complete dipshit retard? Can we get him to call in? This guy's like
we could get-
psychopathic.
Yeah, let's get him in here. His mic sucks though.
Wait, okay, actually, can I watch this first and then call him?
Sure.
Actually, wait. Yeah, we'll call him after. I'll call him after.
All right.
So
Well,
I could just get into this and just watch this shit.
yeah, just I guess you. Well, actually, I didn't watch the full thing. I know.
Right,
Honestly, the
I
call
died.
should not have been aired out, but yeah.
Okay, see you, buddy.
Take care.
All right, guys. I think we got all the context necessary. Copy of Himpleton leaks. Have it? Can we just both agree to delete? I think we could both agree.
Okay, well,
Lead up to the call being leaked.
I haven't read all. I haven't read all these. I don't think either. So
apparently, this is the context before this came out publicly of some sorts. Himpleton is 27. Himpleton is 24. I don't know how old Himpleton is. Okay.
He's 24.
This has all the screenshots. The Google Drive. Okay, well, here, let me read this first, buddy, and then I'll go over that. Himpleton says to the ZV guy, that's the blackmailer in question, I got snaked. Like, I got absolutely fucked. If you want to participate in it, you can. People are twisting the call we had and using it to humiliate me. Do you still have it? Can we just both agree to delete? I think we could both agree. It makes us both look bad. If we just delete, we can move on, and literally the narrative without the full call would have probably benefited you. You had a fireside chat with... Dude, how many fucking cringe words are we using these days? Can we retire all these fucking words? Bro, hearing someone say, hearing the like, fireside chat is just like the gayest thing possible. You had a fireside chat. Stop. Retire this phrase. How many fireside chats have you had? Shut the fuck up. With Sam, Ace, Amos, yeah. Why? Because they claimed I lied, and when they all burned the bridge. Lied about what? Random little things. ZV. ZV, if we can both agree to delete this, then I won't make you, like, reform yourself or anything. Reform yourself? What does reform yourself mean? In what context? I just want to be left alone. This situation is, like, super scary. What do you mean? Everyone keeps pestering me to leak? What do you mean scary? This still doesn't explain why the VC happened to the point where Amos could accidentally leak it. You could claim that if you went down, you'd take me with you. What the fuck am I listening to, man? Himpleton wanted to fix me. That's what he means from that. V Equi, is this the real... Is that you, buddy? Holy autism. This still doesn't explain why the VC happened to the point where Amos could accidentally leak it if you claimed you went down to take me with you. This is scary stuff. CP, I'm telling you right now, if you delete it, I will too. We're not talking about that right now, Himpy. Himpy? If you delete it, I will not do anything else. So Himpleton is desperate to get this deleted, apparently. He very much does not want this public and for people to take a look at. Just for, you know, journalistic integrity over here. I did reach out to the source. I reached out to Himpleton. Unfortunately, he like fucking deleted his Discord and deleted his Twitter, so I can't reach out to him. Just let record show. I reached out. Again, they said verbatim to check in on my mental health and that we explicitly said not to record. Like they were literally going to said we were going to check in with you when they did this. Like, dude, that call would make us both look like shit. We can call and show screen and both delete it. Himpleton calls. He doesn't pick up. Wait, I'm on my phone right now. Went to take a small dump. Lol. Alright, that's fine, but let's get it done after this, man. Please, let me know when you're done. I'd like to really sleep soon. ZV, dude. He's just not responding. If you delete it, I will not do anything. We just saw this. Already read that. What else is this? Sleep, dude. What? I just got out of the toilet. Bro. Alright, you good to call? Yo, Himpy. Yes, what's up? Is it true you're quitting? I don't know yet, ZV. I'm thinking about a lot of dark shit right now. Just want to have this call with you so we can move on. Let's call so I can please go to sleep. Please, seriously, dude. I have uni in like 2 hours. So let's take care of this, man. It will take less than 5 minutes. I want to go to sleep. Himpleton calls again. Dude, seriously, come on. Let's just delete this so we can both have a normal day and move on. This is eating him alive. A normal day and move on? What is the gravity of this conversation? Just call and let's do it right quick. Come on, man, please. Like, I'm genuinely exhausted, but won't be able to sleep till I know this is settled. I'm happy to delete my side and delete yours, and we're all chilling. You can move on and won't have to worry about that video anymore, and I could just work on my mental health. And I'll still talk to you if you want. Himpleton calls, and ZV never replies. Wow. Scary stuff right now. Scary situation. Hey, ZV Equi, you're in the chat, right? What could be possibly worse than him talking about his rape? I don't know. V Equi, you're in the chat right now. Hey, add my Discord for eventually when I call you about this. You wanted to call in, right? All right though. So yeah.
No, I wasn't typing. Sorry.
Okay. All right, what do we got here? What is going on with this guy's audio? What is this?
Sorry for making it awkward.
No, why are you apologizing? Dude, this guy just sounds like Kenny from South Park the whole time. You can't understand anything he's saying.
Turn down my mic because this is quiet. What the fuck is this, man? Did I get trolled with this whole drama and situation? What am I listening to?
I mean, what did you want out of this?
This is the man
Oh.
who holds Himpleton's life in the palm of his hand.
Well, you know, wow.
Context, he's getting blackmailed. Context, he's getting blackmailed with shit talking DMs about morale. Yeah, okay, gotcha. We already know that.
Yeah.
You know, wow.
Turn on subtitles.
What do you think you would do if I were to send, not the archives, but just a few of them to him? What do you think you would do? About how you were saying, oh, Rao's evil, he's conniving, he's this. Like, you were really going at it. You said Rao was evil, he was conniving. You were calling him everything under the sun, Hippleton.
Who gives a fuck?
Everything under the sun.
Mrao is evil and conniving. True.
Yeah, I already said, over
Is this what deeply is affecting him here?
messages, but I think I
Yo, what is on screen, man? Why am I looking at some Mexican dude's ass?
What the fuck?
What is that? What the fuck are these guys'
am
DMs, bro?
understanding what this is. Yeah.
Raise the volume. Okay, I'm turning down my mic, so turn up your phones. So yeah, it's just the way it is.
He would I mean, I think that there's a high chance that he's already going to make a stream about me.
Why is he taking a
think there's really-
screenshot? This guy's evil.
He's a particular narrative that he's gonna run, that he's been running behind my back, that I haven't known about.
What's his narrative? What's his narrative?
That I'm a pathological liar. That I'm a snake. That I'm
Discord drama for these people. This is the most important thing in their life, man. This is just like the end of their life right now. It may be small to you, but just like a kid when they don't get their fucking toys, this is the end of the world to them. Fucking Discord shitter, retarded drama. This guy's gonna figure out I'm a pathological liar.
that I'm a terrible person.
And why does this guy turn on his face cam? What is he thinking for this? What is he doing?
That I was plotting on his downfall.
Dude.
So you sending
Well, I guess
the
the
archive.
part where he goes Joker mode.
Dude, please skip the mental breakdown. Wait, am I supposed to skip this part? What do you mean? Skip
Oh
the
wait,
mental
yeah, he
breakdown.
didn't skip the beginning. Yeah, skip.
Am I supposed to skip this? Where's the good parts? Where I'm looking for the
He
good parts.
literally
That's what
just
I'm
like
looking for.
cries in the beginning.
I understand. I understand that I'm not a person to you. I understand that like I am just like a means to an end. And I understand that like you don't care about me. But I wish at the very least you could just treat me like I'm not stupid. Because I'm not. I may be gullible, I may be naive, but I'm not stupid. And you've always treated me like I'm stupid.
No.
You've already agreed multiple times.
What are these DMs? You sound so pathetic, Himpy. This guy's deranged. I'm surprised.
I'll
There's
skip
some
it.
crazy parts,
I've
but
been,
sounds like there's a lot of boring
like,
ones
here's
too.
another embarrassing thing about me that you'll probably like.
Dude.
Taking my ride. You've been so mean, and you want to call me cruel. So you should have to worry about what I have to do. But literally everyone's after you right now. Just quit. Just
Really
quit.
not like
Just quit.
skipping it?
Bring this up.
But why?
When it, ever since I was
This guy just perfectly impersonate you? Okay, let me call this guy. Did he just perfectly impersonate you?
What is happening?
B.A. Equi. Where's your... Okay, is this you? Okay, I'm calling him. Hello?
Hello?
Oh my.
Jesus Christ. Hello? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi.
Is this the same guy in the call that I'm listening to right now?
Yes.
This is your mic? What the dude?
Yeah. It's a bit better. Right?
Okay. Sure. Okay, so yeah, just say a sentence. Do you have the same accent? Is this you? Like, say I went to the store and got fucking milk. Okay. Just say a sentence.
I went to the store and got milk.
Okay, whatever. It's okay, dude. All right, what are you doing here? What is this? Why are you having these interactions with Himpleton? The fuck? What's going on?
Okay, so Himpleton basically came into contact with me, and he was trash talking Rao.
he was trash talking Rao constantly, and then we had a falling out. When we had a falling out, he deleted our entire DMs, but I archived it. So
Okay.
I basically went up to Templeton and said, "Ooh, what was if I leak it?" I was joking. He started spurging out. He started losing it. He was spurging out. So then he runs to this other guy, Ace Howler, and he tells me to delete the log. So I do. But Himpleton doesn't know this. So I continue to egg it on.
Bruh.
And then I get into
Evil,
VC with
dude.
him.
This is evil.
And I'm basically joking around saying, I'm going to send it to these people. And he basically starts begging me not to read.
Dude.
You sound like a dude. You sound like a maniac. Are you good? This is disturbed. This is disturbed, man.
It's okay. I'm good.
Okay. So, what? You guys were friends at some point?
Our relationship was very weird.
What does that mean?
Okay, so sometimes we would talk. He mostly talked about morale. He would get. Yeah, he mostly just talked about morale, about how he backstabbed him, about how morale was evil or whatever.
Okay, whatever. So you got to the point where you're blackmailing him. Why the fuck are you blackmailing him? And what were you making him do? Like, apparently this was happening for 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Who said that?
That's what I heard. How long was this happening?
This happened for about, I'd say, 2 days. Well, I didn't. All I said was beg me to delete the delete the logs, but I didn't have the logs at this time. I deleted this before this, so I was just playing. But he didn't know that.
So were you making him do anything? Like, what is the thing here? That's what
I told
I'm
him
hearing.
to beg me to delete it.
Was that all?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, you sound like deranged and insane, dude. And like this guy clearly has got fucking some kind of issues, and you're just like laughing in his face over this. Like
he was spurging out.
Okay, I don't think he's spurging out. I think he's just like mentally unwell. I think the guy's unwell. I think you probably know that. If you're friends with him, you would know that he's unwell.
I knew this guy for about a week. At most, a week. Before he started trauma dumping in my DMs about morale. I knew this guy for a week.
Okay, Aiden wants to talk to you. Dude, this guy's just like fucking Discord shit or actual schizo.
No.
Okay. What does Aiden got to say? So, like, this guy's actually just a fucking schizo. Like,
This guy's
what do we got here?
GV, I knew you were
something.
fearing this. You should. I just, I wanted to ask you. You claim that you were pressured into leaking this call, correct?
Ooh. Aiden.
Is that
Are
a
we
yes?
getting scary? Are we getting scary in the call, Aiden? We getting scary.
Well, I heard you've unironically confided to your friends that you like get off to like people like insulting you, so I'm gonna try not to do that. But what I wanted to say is it like obviously like you claim last night people pressured you into leaking this. Why did you hold on to this call for multiple days? Why did you record it in the first place?
Multiple days? Let me go check when this call happened. Hold on. This call happened.
This guy sounds like he's like fucking
I'm trying to check.
7 bodies to his name. Like this guy's fucking done something to someone. He has done something to someone.
This call happened about 3 days ago, so I didn't exactly hold it for a long period of time.
So why'd you record it in the first place? That's my question.
Why do I record it?
Space out. I wanted to make it bigger.
I had a feeling that
Sorry.
Templeton would record it. I would probably take it out of context.
Make it bigger
That's why I
again. I think it's
recorded it.
funny.
Okay. And if you didn't want to leak it, why didn't you just say no when people were asking you to? Why are you like blaming this on everybody else?
I'm not exactly blaming it. I didn't want to leak it. But everyone was saying, oh, it would be so funny if you leaked it. You should leak it because Amos made a I don't know if you saw the tweet Amos made. So everyone was basically asking for the call, for the context. A bunch of people were asking me for the call. So I was like, let me just leak this now because Himpleton recorded the call as well. So it was either going to come from me or Himpleton. So I was like, let me just...
then how come when I give you pushback, you immediately go, you private the VODs last night, which were unlisted, and then you're like in chat trying to defend yourself, being like, I didn't want to do this. Everyone was asking me for it. They made me do it. They made me leak it. Shit like that.
Aiden.
That is my name.
I'm
Is
gonna
that
ask
your-
you a question, Aiden. I'm gonna ask you a question to respond to your question. Is that okay, Aiden?
Yeah, I feel very uncomfortable.
What is happening?
Lyrics, don't worry. Okay, we're making it spicy.
What is happening? I'm making this big again. What is going on?
Aiden, you think I was being serious?
I
Dude, actually, what this guy's deranged. What the
Get
fuck
help.
is
Get
happening? What is
get help,
happening,
dude.
man? Like,
Actually,
I'm getting
get
like a
help.
knock on my door. I'm fucking scared for my
This
life.
is the
dude.
first time I don't want to debate. This is actually
Holy
the first
shit.
time I think I don't want to debate. I'm like very uncomfortable.
Gay Riddler 2.0. Like, dude, can you just say what the fuck are you talking about? Like, do you even have any disagreement with him? He's just like a deranged freak. Like, what is there even to say? Like, this guy is just nuts.
Well, no, I just hate how he's acting like he was pressured into doing this when he did it completely by his own volition. He's a piece of shit trying to act like he's not a piece of shit, and he has the audacity to go and like make videos exposing other people when like he clearly like took advantage of the. Okay, that's such gay wording.
Okay, shut the fuck up. Okay. All right, what were you gonna say that was fucking? What did you say? Spicy? Make this. What were you gonna say, buddy?
Yeah, we're gonna make it Aiden. Hey.
What I was gonna say? What
No,
I was
not
saying
you,
was,
Tard. Not you.
okay,
Fucking
okay.
him.
Yeah,
him.
Aiden. Yeah, I have the talking stick, buddy.
Okay, keep going.
Dude, this is so weird.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say so. Oh yeah, I'm evil, Aiden. I'm like so evil. I'm like mean.
Say what you want to
Okay.
say.
Like evil and mean. I don't want to give you content anymore. Bye bye.
What
What
the fuck was that, dude?
Dude,
Bro,
what?
what the fuck is wrong with that guy? He actually might be more deranged than Impleton. You know, he unironically like he allegedly has been confiding to him in private chats that he gets off to being he gets off to being in drama, or gets off to people insulting him. And he was claiming he was getting off to the fucking Himpleton call.
What do I even make of this? What do I even make of this? This is the new comment. Is this the new Rising Star? Okay.
This is the new lyrics is new rising star. New
Guys
member
coming
of
up on the
lyrics
scene.
community.
I'm telling you. Okay, there's potential here. There's potential.
All right, stay away from that guy. He also, you know, he drew Rule 34 of Toastify, right?
Bro.
You haven't seen the art he drew for Toastify?
No, and I don't want to see it. All right, thank you, buddy. Okay. Holy
Dude, what?
You 100% tracked your IP address? Yeah, dude.
Bro.
I actually, this is just disturbed.
Yeah.
I think this is what they call a debate rapist. Like, I feel violated after that, dude. This is just what the fuck, man. Okay, so glad we got this context going into this call. Bunny, thank you for the 5. Already read that. Town.
Holy.
McDonald's. Simpleton. What do we got? Go. Oh, dude, back to this cancerous audio. Okay, turn down your phones. We have to lower my mic. Lower my mic. Okay, test.
You mean
test.
turn up your phone?
Same audio levels. Okay, it should be like the same audio levels, roughly. Okay, I'm skipping to everybody's saying the timestamp of 1 hour and 16 minutes. Apparently there was timestamps in this document. Where? The crying and personal trauma dump. Is this what you mean? Okay, so apparently 116 is. All right, let's just get to this. I think we've had enough. We get the gist of the
Good.
whatever.
Better.
Because I'm a fucking loser. I'm a fucking loser, ZV. I'm a druggie. I'm a fucking dumbass.
Good start.
But I'm not a retard.
Oh?
I've been through this before. I've been used by a lot of people.
Dude, it's so quiet.
And it's funny because I know you can relate to some of that.
What?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Being used.
Who's ever used me?
Dude, I can't turn up the video. This is the loudest it goes.
I don't know.
Just turn up your phones. I've matched the audio.
Who has ever used you?
Who has ever used me?
Who has ever made you feel dirty? violated
Bro.
with you. I'm referring.
What?
Dude.
What?
Why was it so much louder all of a sudden?
The fuck? Yeah, miss. The fuck?
Yeah. This is where he starts getting on
Actually
it.
joining the ranks of the raped.
Bro.
What's going on?
Common.
Guys, I got rid of the intro. The intro is too bad optics.
We had that in common.
Dude, actually, the rape off right now.
Bro.
Coliseum match, cage match. Rapey versus rape it. Well, both of them are. Okay, dude.
What the hell? Why would you bring that up? You're actually a freak. What the hell?
Because you've brought up the same fucking thing. I'm operating using your standards. So you throw it and you can't take it? Is that what it is? You're that fucking pathetic? I mean, sure.
Okay.
I'm not gonna dispute the fact I'm a fucking loser.
Himpleton's, dude, I was about to say, he's getting a backbone here. He's fighting back a little bit. This is a little bit better. I like this
Dude, wait,
performance
I
from
can't,
him.
dude.
An hour into the conversation.
I want to see how lyrics reacts to when he
I'm a
goes
fucking
just
loser. I'm a druggie. I'm a
absolute
fucking dumbass.
Joker mode.
Druggy?
But look at you. This is what you do to get your fucking kicks. You literally said it yesterday. If you don't do shit like this, if you don't hurt people, you start to feel like you're going insane.
What?
Do you know who else felt that way?
You know, I actually wouldn't
Dude, oh
believe
my
that
God, this is the way it
if I didn't
starts
just have a
getting
conversation
crazy.
with the guy. Now I actually probably do.
Dennis Rader, the BTK killer, the bind, torture, and bind, torture, kill killer.
Who's Dennis Rader?
He felt that way.
Serial
Whenever
killer shitter?
he went long enough
Dude.
without killing people, he would just feel like he was going insane. Sure. Is it not the same level? Absolutely not.
Bro.
Because if it was, you would have been caught by now.
You're like this serial killer I know.
But it's that same philosophy. Because I know
Why so serious?
what you have.
Dude.
Your antisocial personality disorder. You've already told me. And you're a psychopath.
Jeffrey Dahmer of small
You got the same
commentary.
fucking makeup
Oh.
that Dennis Rader has. Got the same impulses.
Dude,
Maybe not as extreme.
everybody's calling this cringe. I think this is fucking awesome.
Dude.
Okay, this is him fighting back
It's
to
just
his
like-
abuser. All right, this guy's getting blackmailed, his life ruined over Discord right now. But Himpleton is finding the fighting spirits before he just loses it all. This is
Holy.
his last stand, some may say.
But the same ones nonetheless. This thirst to hurt people. To exhilarate you. So you can feel something. I never fucking harmed anyone. And I can rest well at night, knowing I'm a fucking loser. Knowing that I'm a piece of
Hey.
shit.
No,
I'm a coward.
don't
I
say
never did
that.
anything for myself. Knowing that even in the times that I hurt people, I never meant to. Ever. You do it for your own sick pleasure.
Dude,
You do it because it's fun for you. Entertaining.
zoom in.
Dude.
You
Yes.
tried to put me so low. As low as you could, really.
Let's go.
You don't come close to morale.
What?
Morale was capable of being genuine. His biggest thing that he has wrong is he's massively, massively insecure and unsure of himself.
Morale's taking shots.
And he has bad anger issues.
Morale's getting
And
straight.
he's unwilling to admit the first two.
Fuck.
But you are a fucking monster. Morale does this because he doesn't know how
Oh,
to do
fuck.
anything else.
Ads just fucked me.
You do this because you love to.
Dude, so loud.
Because you have to get that kick. And don't worry, I'm a druggie, so I get it. Chasing after the next high. So knowing that what you want from me
Dude.
is for me to
Dude.
pay, I say, fuck you. I say, send the archives to whoever you'd like. And make sure when you do, you tell them that I am so excited to see what they think. Because I have lived in a world
Dude,
where fucking
imagine.
disgusting,
Imagine
freakish
crashing
monsters
out like
you
this.
win every time. If I can give one tiny little fuck you on my way out, that's all I need. So no, I'm not giving it to you. How am I monsters, Evie? Go ahead.
Wait, okay.
Dude.
Oh my god.
Go ahead.
What else do we got here? We got another song.
Murder, is that it? You
Yeah. BTK, Richard Ramirez, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Nigga, you look like Jeffrey Dahmer. Shut up.
I know. It's ironic, isn't it? That guy in Atlanta who acted like he owned his own music label and he was raping and killing children the whole time.
What?
What?
You're the same. You're the same breed.
No, I'm not.
As I said before, less extreme. Less extreme. But the same thought process.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Let's go.
The exact same thought process.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Have you ever seen Dexter?
No, I have not.
Okay, Dexter. Dexter is about a psychopath.
Oh no.
But his dad raises him to be a good psychopath. So, just like you, he has the urge to hurt people so that he can feel something. But what he does is he hurts bad guys. And so that gets his little rocks off. But just like BTK, just like every other example in history of people like you. Notice I don't say people like BTK, I say people like you. If he didn't feel that lust, that hunger, he would start to go crazy.
You will not believe.
Just like you. And what's the one thing? What's the one thing that can fill that hole? That can make you feel hurting people? That's who you are. And, you know, I'm really not a hateful person. So, I'm not even gonna say that that's all you'll ever be. There's a deep part of me. I pray for you. I have prayed for you. And there's a deep part of me that truly and genuinely hopes that you can get better. There is. But right now, that's all you are. Sadistic, cruel, disgusting monster.
Is that really how you see me?
I didn't at first. But now, it takes me a while to make up my mind. But I know who you are now. I've had enough experience with people like you.
You act like it's...
Spit it out. Like it's what? I've already heard. I act like it's. I know that. Go ahead and fill in the blank. I'm gonna make it easy for you. You don't have to say that part.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Wait, fuck. Wait, I was talking a little. Have you guys not heard me on the other thing? Have you been able to hear me?
No.
Fuck, wait, did that
Oh
just
my-
play alone? That must have been so fucking creepy.
Yes.
Wait,
Yes,
dude.
it was horrible.
Wait, dude, I was talking the whole time. Dude, could you not hear me on that scene? Dude, that must have just been so fucking disturbed. Dude.
Dude.
You guys were just watching that alone? Jesus.
Bro.
That's fucked up. I'm sorry. My bad. Apologies. Jesus.
How am I supposed to say this sentence without? It's not right though.
The fuck?
Oh, you don't like this?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Alright, let's
Why
stay
is
on
it
this
not-
scene.
It's not right though. Like you have to like.
That was like 2 consecutive minutes just straight of that. My bad.
Actually, no, I don't. If you, it's really interesting, ZV, because actually, one of the I always wanted to be a documentarian. That's like my biggest dream. And
can I get a filter on this? Can I make this black and white?
one of the things that I'm really interested in, that I've studied a lot, is serial killers, is psychopaths.
Oh no.
Yeah. So it started out as, you know, these people who would kill multiple people, this kind of cycle, all that kind of stuff. And eventually, over time, it kind of evolved into spree shooters.
Let's go.
Kind of what we see now, because that's what you can get away with. There still are some serial killers, of course, but it's rare. Now, one thing that remains constant with all these people, none of them are having fun. None of them enjoy it. None of them want to do it. They feel like they need to. They feel like they have to. But you know what? For every Ted Bundy, for every ZV, there's another. There's another who isn't a selfish fucking prick.
Whoa.
Who fucking figures it out and lives in pain.
My co-host, what
Because they know
happened?
how fucking wrong it is
How did it
to do
come
what
to
you
this?
do. For every one of you, there's another that resists.
Average lyrics viewer.
You're pathetic. Your tries are pathetic. Did you see? You know what's so funny? You tried the last less than 24 hours. We've already been through this. I've already heard this. You smelled. No, TV. You smelled blood.
What the fuck are they even talking about anymore? I don't even know what's going on. Dude, I can't believe I played that to you for you guys like 5 minutes uninterrupted. That's so fucked up.
Dude.
And you got the taste in your mouth.
I was talking the entire time.
And you just couldn't resist. I know how it feels. I feel like I'm gonna go crazy sometimes when I don't have weed. When I don't have drugs. When I don't have something to numb myself. Shut the fuck up. And do you wanna know what I do? I man the fuck up. And I don't do it.
Dude, why is he
It's
so
weak.
close to the camera?
You're too selfish. And you know what? You're right. It's not comparable to drugs because what I do hurts me.
Bro.
That's all I hurt.
Come on, man.
Why is his one eyebrow up so high?
Actually.
Why is it?
It's much better.
Rising
you do.
star actor. He could fucking kill it.
What you do is disgusting. What you do is deplorable. What you do is not in any world,
Holy fuck.
in any universe. Okay. You said it yourself. You're evil. All you care about.
Former lyrics co-host, by the way.
So you can say, "Oh, I'm trying all the fuck you want." No, you're not.
I did try.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
You want to know how much Discord Nitro I've got? Even if I told you, you couldn't even fathom the number. It's more than you could possibly even conceive.
You showed me this entire fucking call that that's not fucking true. And if you are trying to piss poor goddamn excuse, if you are trying, might as well be fucking negligible. Because what matters the most to you eventually
This is my friend. Yes, this is my best friend.
is to get your fucking rocks off and feel something again.
I love this guy.
It drives you crazy. But instead of figuring out how to adapt to it, instead of figuring out how to resist, you do it again.
How the hell am I supposed to adapt to it then? Yeah, I mean, like you always say, "Oh, it's okay,
Give me a new song. Give me a new song.
Black Friday is here. Motherfucker. How the fuck is that my problem? How the fuck is that my problem? One of your fucking playthings. One of your means to an end. One of your little mice to play with. How is that my problem? You'll probably be like this for the rest of your life. Because you're not willing to try hard enough. That's the thing. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. The thing is, the effort that you're putting in, it's not enough. You seem trying.
He's screenshotting him. He's
There are many examples of people
So
who have the same
evil.
tendencies as you, who have the same proclivities as you, who have the same
Why
things they
is
like
he
to do,
doing that?
who have the same feelings. That they'll just
Why is he doing
crazy,
that?
never feel anything if they don't
What
do
is going
what you do.
on?
Come on,
And
man.
they don't. You're not special. If those people can do it, you can do it.
Dude, did he send it to a person named Big Titty? Is that the person's name?
You're one of 7 billion people. Dozens of billions of people to ever exist.
Dude.
You're not.
Okay, come on. He's actually just playing up the gay Joker meme. Like, dude, he's just trying to play the part. Like, do you see the fucking mannerisms? Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. I don't, dude.
Every single one of those people had the free will to resist, to actually try, to actually not do it. And some of them did. Some of them are living proof
The raped
that you
Joker.
are a worthless, lazy, selfish piece of shit who only cares about himself. All you have to do is try. But I'm trying. Then why does it keep on happening again and again?
It didn't happen for a few months.
It didn't happen for a few months and then it happened.
Okay.
1 week, the next week, the next day, the day after that.
This
You're
is
trying so
awesome
hard.
playlist I got right now.
We're skip it all.
You literally said that I couldn't even kill myself.
Dude, okay, I'll skip ahead a little more.
Was
Oh, he
irresistible.
took the glasses
The
off.
chum was in the water.
He won.
Shark.
What can I do to make this up to you?
Okay, I need another one. Need another one.
Oh, what can I do?
So after all of this, nobody's ever gonna trust me anyways.
I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna take it to anyone. I'm not going to. Ace already told me not to, but I'm not going to.
I want you to go ahead and send it to me.
Bro.
That's the first way you can make it up to me. Go ahead. You really want to make it up to me? Go ahead. Send me the archive. Now. Go ahead. Go ahead, CV. Send me the archive, since you want to make it up to me. That's the first thing you can do, and then we'll talk about the next thing. Okay? So here's the first thing. Send me the archive.
I can show you my drive. I don't have anything. I deleted it. I don't have anything.
You deleted it?
Yes,
Wait, wait. Nope. I'm friends with the monster inside of my head. It's sounding crazy, but I know my day. And tonight my fancy. Okay. So did you delete it or did you never have it? Now here's your opportunity to tell the truth. Did you delete it? Or did you never have it?
I don't have it.
Did you ever have it?
I deleted it. I went and screenshot the entire
Now we're
thing. Like I
talking.
said one of the screenshots earlier. I deleted everything. I don't have anything. I don't have
No, I just
anything.
wanted. No, it's fine. It's fine. I just wanted to confirm that while you were saying to me that you wouldn't leak anything and you were acting like you cared even a tiny bit about me, you were screenshotting every single thing I said. I just wanted to confirm. Go on.
Oh no.
What are you saying about Ace?
I was saying that when Ace told me to, Ace was told me to leave it alone, that I was like,
Wait, what did you do when he said that?
I know.
Look at where we are.
I know. When he told me to not send it, I deleted it. I deleted everything. There's nothing left I can take.
Dude, this is fucking insane. Okay. Oh, okay. I gotta take a break. Real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. What's up? I'm back. Do I want to keep watching this? Hang on. Let's see if we can find something else to watch. Give me a second. Oh. Stuff's been awfully dry lately. Where's all the exciting stuff, huh? Bruh, okay.
Cookie Clicker has 600.
Let's watch this. This will be dumb, but I don't care. Do, do, do.
139 achievements, ranging from ones where you bake a lot of cookies, ones where you have to get really lucky, and an achievement where you need to play the game for 365 days. So that means the theoretical best time you could get in a Cookie Clicker 100% speedrun is 8,760 hours, but is it even possible to get the remaining 638 achievements within a single year? Today, that's what we're looking at. So to begin the video, we should talk about baking cookies. There are 48 achievements you get from baking some amount of cookies per second, up to 100 septendecillion, and 48 achievements you get from baking some amount of cookies in a single ascension, going up to 1 trevingantillion. And to help with getting these, there are 20 different buildings we can buy and upgrade, which all bake cookies. The Cursor has 17 achievements, Grandma has 23, and then the remaining 18 buildings all have 19 achievements respectively. Grandma has a little more, by the way, because of achievements like Just Wrong, where you sell a grandma, along with various achievements for owning different types of grandmas. But the rest of the building achievements come down to owning 700 of each of them and making a ton of cookies from them, like the 20th building U, which needs 1 quattro ordicillion cookies. These numbers are so hard to say. Then there's various other achievements involved with our buildings, like owning 10,000 of them and purchasing tons of upgrades for them. There are 35 of these types of achievements, making our total achievement count just from buildings 417. Obviously, that alone takes a ton of time to get, But one thing to help with this that the speedrunner Whitestone Jazz did was make a program that always tells you the most optimal building to buy at any point, so that can help a lot and will be in the description. Even with the program though, these are the biggest grinding achievements in the speedrun, and they're just gonna take a really long time. And there's one more achievement for each of the buildings that I haven't even mentioned yet, and that's to upgrade each of them to level 10, where the only way to do this is by using sugar lumps. Sugar lumps are a secondary in-game currency, which unlock after baking 1 billion cookies. Basically, how they work is you get one every 24 hours, and then need to wait for them to mature before harvesting them. Then depending on the kind you get, you'll get anywhere from 0 to 7 lumps. And to upgrade every building to level 10, you would need a total of 1,100 sugar lumps, which, according to the wiki, would take around 677 days. So there goes beating the game in a year, right? Well, almost, if it wasn't for one lesser known strategy. See, when Whitestone Jazz decided to make the run, these are the rules he set out. They include obvious things like not cheating, using mods, changing the clock, or using an auto clicker, but one thing that is allowed is save scumming. Now how save scumming works is you want to copy your current save export and then paste it into a different document. Then you can click on the current sugar lump you have, then copy and paste your new save to the other document before reloading the original one and repeating this process over and over again. Now, every time you do this, you're starting a new sugar lump at a different time, which means they're all going to mature into something different. That means you can essentially run hundreds of games together, each with a sugar lump that started growing at a different time, so you have a better chance that one of those sugar lumps turns out to be good. If you do this a couple hundred times, you'll almost be guaranteed to get a caramelized sugar lump, and if you do it 1,000 times, you have about a 50-50 chance to get a golden sugar lump, which of course is another achievement, so yeah, that does need to happen eventually. Then the next day, once your sugar lump has finally matured, you can keep checking different saves until you finally find a caramelized or golden sugar lump. After that, you can just save scum to get the maximum amount of sugar lumps from the one you're harvesting, since that's also a range, and that's basically the strategy. Oh, and besides the golden lump achievement, there are 7 more sugar lump achievements that include getting all the different kinds and harvesting 365 of them. Now with these golden lumps, we can upgrade our buildings, and the ones to focus on for some extra achievements are the Wizard Tower, Garden, and Stock Market. With the Wizard Tower, you need to cast 999 spells over the course of the run, and spells basically give you a good or bad effect, and your ability to use them recharges with time. But then the other two are a bit more active. For the garden, we need to harvest 1,000 plants, fill up every tile on the biggest garden, sacrifice our garden to the sugar hornets, and unlock every garden seed. And the most time-intensive one is unlocking every seed. For this, you'll basically want to crossbreed certain plants to make a new one. Like how 2 baker's wheat together can make a thumbcorn, a baker's wheat and a thumbcorn together can make a crown of rice, and so on from there. Then for the stock market, there's achievements for owning a bunch of stocks and making a bunch of money from them. So it's just like real life where you want to buy stocks low and sell them high. Both of these mini games have guides on the wiki, so I recommend checking it out. Now next up, we have the golden cookie. This is a cookie that will pop up on the screen every once in a while and gives a temporary upgrade. There's 8 different golden cookie achievements, 6 of those from clicking up to 7,777 golden cookies, and the other 2 which come from clicking a golden cookie less than 1 second after it spawns and 1 second before it dies. Then we have 11 miscellaneous achievements, like giving your bakery a name or clicking the news 50 times, and most of these aren't too hard to get. Probably the hardest one to get here is never click, where you have to make 1 million cookies while clicking your cookie less than 15 times, and you can get that after an ascension. And speaking of ascension, this is a feature of the game where you get rid of all your buildings, upgrades, and cookies, and in return get heavenly chips and a prestige level. Heavenly chips let you buy heavenly upgrades, which are permanent upgrades that don't get removed from ascending, and they're all really good. And prestige levels give you a permanent plus 1% clicks per second. This is another part where the wiki comes in useful, by the way, since they have an ascension guide, and it's the best way to go fast. Anyways, there's 22 different achievements that have to do with ascending, mostly about ascending with different amounts of cookies saved up, with the highest being 1 octodecillion. There's also one for training the dragon you can get from ascending, and you gotta love this little guy. Now it's finally time to talk about the Grand Apocalypse. This happens once you purchase the 1 mind upgrade, which makes the grandmas really angry, the background of the game gets weird, these guys called wrinklers will start appearing, and you can now get wrath cookies instead of golden ones. There's 9 different achievements from the Grand Apocalypse. 1 from triggering it, 1 from clicking a wrath cookie, 2 from appeasing the Grand Matriarchs at least 5 times with pledges, 1 from purchasing the Covenant, and 4 from poking and killing the wrinklers. So yeah, that's the horror part of Cookie Clicker. Anyways, next up is the season achievements. Cookie Clicker has special seasons for Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's Valentine's
was
Day
really
and
small
Easter.
spider.
You can use the season switcher upgrade from Ascending to get to these, and each
Goodness.
of them has special requirements, with there being 14 seasonal achievements in total. Now there are 15 clicking achievements, where you have to get from 1,000 to 10 non-nillion cookies from clicking, and this gets easier as you get upgrades. Now for our second to last group of achievements, we have 23 milestone ones. Some of them are things we already talked about, like the garden and the stock market, but pretty much it just comes down to 100%ing every aspect of the game. There's also the hardcore achievement here, by the way, where you need to get 1 billion cookies baked with no upgrades purchased, so that's another thing to do during one of your ascensions. But finally, our very last section of achievements in Cookie Clicker are shadow achievements. These are described as either too unfair or difficult to attain, and they don't show up on your stats tab until you achieve them. And yeah, there's some ridiculous stuff in this section. Achievements like clicking 27,777 golden cookies, ascending 1,000 times, and getting just plain lucky, which is an achievement that you have a 1 in a million chance to get every second. Oh, there's also achievements for hacking in cookies and using an add-on with the game, which if you remember is against the original rules, so either those don't count for the speedrun, or you can make them your very last achievements. Anyways, with all that said, there's 17 shadow achievements to get, and as long as you did this all within 365 days, you officially have an unbeatable world record. Now as for Whitestone Jazz, he decided to end off the speedrun around 90 days in, once he did all the hard stuff, and it was just grinding left, but he did come back later to finish it out, installing some add-ons to do all the grindy stuff. Definitely recommend checking out his series on this. It has a lot of strategies that I didn't explain in this video, and also shout out to GeoSage who made a great video on the longing speedrun, which finally inspired me to make this one, since I've been sitting on it for a while. Alright, subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye!
How long is this?
Today we're speedrunning Plague Inc, and we're going to be beating every plague on the hardest difficulty, Mega Brutal. So to start out, we're going with Bacteria, and right away a trick you'll see me doing is as soon as we see a pop-up, I'm going to press 3 to make the speed faster, and then we can go into this menu while the game is still playing. And along with it playing, it's also still going to pop up orange and red bubbles, and that means we can pop them while we're in this menu because we have the genetic code on Metabolic Hijack. Then for our other genetic codes, we have Creationist, which decreases the chance of your plague mutating, and that's good since we can prevent making our plague lethal too soon. Aquasite, which increases the chance of your plague spreading by sea, which is really important for places like Greenland. Extremophile, which gives your plague a minor bonus in all environments, and Symptostasis.
I remember playing Plague Inc. on my iPod back in the day. Greenland's always the hardest place to get.
Which makes it so that symptom costs don't increase, but the plague is easier to cure. Now for our upgrades, you'll see that at the beginning we're completely focusing on infectivity, so we're going for a bunch of symptoms that do that right at the start, and then we're going to focus on a couple transmission sources, starting with Bird 1, because that's really going to help us get past land borders and go into new places, but after that we want to completely focus on air and water. This is because islands like Greenland and the Caribbean are extremely hard to get to, and a lot of the times those are going to be the places that ruin your run, so we want to make sure we have as good of a chance to infect them as soon as possible. Now we want to get some abilities like Cold Resistance 1 and 2, which are really good for places that are cold, like Russia, Greenland, all kinds of different places. And then we're also going to get Drug Resistance 1 and 2, which is really nice for the wealthier places, like the US and Canada, before buying another transmission perk, which is Extreme Bioaerosol, or I think that's how you say it, but basically it just makes our air travel and water travel as good as possible. But right there, I saw that a boat finally infected Greenland, which means we can focus on lethality. The reason we wanted to wait is if we kill too many people too fast, then places like Greenland are going to close down their ports, and once their ports are closed, if no one's infected in the country, they are completely safe and there's no way for us to get them. Yeah, if you've ever played this game, you know how painful places like Greenland are, but it's really nice when you can actually start killing because we're going to get DNA a lot faster, and this is where the game starts getting really fun as soon as there are no longer any healthy people left in the world and you just watch the rest die. And as soon as Bacteria finishes up, we're going into our next plague, Virus. Virus is a lot harder to control since it mutates a lot, meaning it gets new symptoms even when we don't buy them. This can be good when you want it, but it can also give us lethal symptoms, so that's what we have to watch out for and how we're going to change up our strategy. And our first change is going to be the genetic code, where we're going to keep Metabolic Hijack, Aquasite, Extremophile, and Symptostasis, but we'll replace Creationist with Base Oxidization, which makes your plague able to mutate transmissions. You'll actually see it right there as we got Livestock 1, and now we're going to focus on transmissions. If we get symptoms that increase infectivity right now, then we'll be more likely to mutate symptoms that give us lethality. So instead, we're going to completely ignore symptoms at the beginning of this run, which does make us go a little bit slower, but it's a lot safer, especially for a run like this. If you watch speedruns for only Virus, they go for symptoms right away and are a lot riskier, but that's because they can afford the reset. For my speedrun, I'm trying to beat every single plague without losing a single time, so we gotta use slightly different strategies to make sure we can actually survive. It doesn't have the best feeling to watch the game go by pretty slowly, but once we start getting these planes and boats out, you'll see that we're getting a lot more DNA, so it really ramps up after just a bit of waiting. Our real hope is as soon as possible, just like last time, we hit all the different islands, so we don't have to worry about that going into the future. The ones that really always worry me, and the ones that have ended runs before, are Greenland, Iceland, and the Caribbean, but I'm sure there are more run enders than that. We just gotta hope we get lucky. But now, after
I feel like
the transmissions, you'll see
Madagascar
that
always
now
got
I'm
me
focusing
too.
on getting a couple more of these symptoms. Once we have those, we can also get our are resistances. Cold resistance and drug resistance are the ones that we pretty much get for every single type of plague, and drug resistance usually takes a bit longer than cold resistance takes to get, just because it's kind of expensive. But there, I actually saw that Greenland just got hit, which means we're good to go, and we can completely start getting symptoms. Especially because when we get lethality, like I said before, we're going to get even more DNA. Now, we don't want to get too much lethality right away, because if we kill people too fast, then they're not going to be able to get infected first, and if we kill all of our infected people in a country before the others can get infected, that just means we're going to lose right there. So, got to be a bit careful about that. But once we start getting a little bit farther in, and there are no healthy people left in the world, this is where we can just completely get every single other type of symptom, and we're pretty much just waiting for people to die. And between the combo of bacteria and virus, a lot of my runs actually die here, so we're lucky enough to finally continue. We just have to make sure they're not going to be able to get any cures. I mean, at this point, everybody is literally dying. We're set to destroy humanity, and there we go. That's the Earth. Time to go on to the next one, fungus, which is also a pretty hard one to survive. And I mean hard for my run to survive, not the people, because in fungus, its special trait is that it's really hard to get a fungus to travel long distances without special effort. And because of that, we're going to replace all of our genetic code. So we have ATP boost, which gives bonus DNA at the beginning, genetic mimic, which makes our plague hard to cure, suppression, which makes the plague more likely to cross a closed land border, herbophile, which gives the plague a bonus in urban environments, and pathostasis, which makes it so ability costs don't increase, but the plague is easier to cure. The biggest change visually, though, is going to be getting rid of metabolic hijack, since I can no longer just sit there in the menu and actually have to pop bubbles. Still, it's worth it for the ATP boost to get us going faster. Now, in an only fungus speedrun, to go fast, it comes down to getting lucky with Spore Burst, which releases a burst of spores in the air to infect a new country. You have a total of 12 Spore Bursts and 2 Spore Eruptions, which releases spores in a few different countries, but this strategy is another one that completely relies on luck, so we can't use it for our speedrun. And that means instead, we want to use our Spore Burst more strategically, which does make this have a longer start, but it's worth it so I don't have to reset for the next 10 days. So, as you saw for transmission, we only got Bird 1 and Water 1 and 2, and we will get some more transmission things later in the run, but for now, that's all we want. And then we also want to upgrade our cold resistance, heat resistance, and drug resistance. This is really just the long setup part of the run, so when we actually get the symptoms and stuff going, we'll have enough time before the people can get done with a cure. So while we're waiting for things to speed up, let me tell you about why we've been choosing our starting location, Saudi Arabia. This is a really good starting location since it's close to Europe, Asia, and Africa, while also having both an airport and seaport, so yeah, you can probably guess why it's so good to start out in. I remember when I casually played this game back in middle school, I would always choose Greenland because it's sometimes really hard to affect, but Saudi Arabia will get you going a lot faster, so it's worth it for the speedrun. And in fact, we're actually going to use Saudi Arabia for our starting location for 9 out of the 11 plagues, but I'll explain the other 2 once we get there. Anyways, it looks like our fungus is finally starting to expand, and it will even more so now that we have heat resistance. As you saw for the last 2 plagues, we don't really use heat resistance that often. It's really cold resistance and drug resistance that are the ones that are crucial for these mega brutal speedruns. But the reason we get heat resistance right here is just so we can help spread the fungus faster, because as you've been seeing so far, it is extremely slow. And since we're starting to spread right into Africa, the heat resistance will come in helpful, with us hopefully going just a little bit faster. And now it's really just a waiting game, because we have to get 25 DNA points to get drug resistance too. Again, it is crucial for those places that are the wealthier countries, so we really need to hope that it can get here kind of fast. We are starting to get a couple of these bubbles, but there's not too much you can do to actually speed this up. It's really just a waiting game and hoping that we'll get there eventually. Please, fungus, I cannot wait until we're done with this plague type. I remember when I was younger too, I could never do fungus. I just think I didn't have the patience for it. Even when I didn't used to play on Mega Brutal, I can see why younger me couldn't handle this. I really wanted to get that fast gameplay, you know what I'm talking about? You know, me hearing that sentence made me realize I probably was always a speedrunner. I just didn't know yet. But okay, drug resistance 2 is finally acquired, and now we actually get to the exciting part of the speedrun, because once we get at least 6 DNA, we can start using Spore Bursts. We're going to want to use 6 of these at a time, and then we go and click on all of those. I actually paused the game for just a second to make sure I could get that and do a Spore Eruption, and already we just got onto Greenland. That's actually really good luck, but it's not the most crucial thing. It's just nice to get. We're also going to get some genetic hardening. That's going to make it so that the people can't come up with a cure fast enough, especially because right away we're going to start making our plague lethal. At this point, we've waited so long, there's no point in waiting any longer. We're going straight into lethality and getting some more things that will make it harder for the people to cure this plague, because there are certain symptoms that make curing the plague harder, like paralysis and coma, and these are nice to get since you get a symptom along with making it harder for scientists instead of something like genetic hardening, which only makes the plague harder to cure. Both are important for the speedrun, but I like these a little better. And of course, since we're getting more lethality, that means we're going to get even more DNA with each person dying, so yeah, it's just something that keeps adding up. That means we can get more symptoms, but I'm not going to focus too much on symptoms. I will get one more right there, but then we're actually going to focus on a couple transmission types with Bird 2 and also the Rat 1, just so we can focus on raising the infectivity as much as possible, and that way when we do our next Spore Burst, they'll be able to hit the remaining countries. And the way we can see if everything is going to plan is we'll do the Spore Burst there, it will hit like 6 countries, and then we're also going to use a Spore Eruption, which we see only hits 3 countries, and that means that there are no more that we can infect, so everything should be good to go, and now we can completely focus on our symptoms. But just like before in earlier speedruns, I don't want to raise the lethality too much, because there are places that are barely infected. We can see Canada right here, they're going up at a fairly slow rate. But the thing about infectivity, as it starts slow, but then it gets higher and higher with time, so we don't have to worry about it too much. I'm just gonna wait a bit though. I really do have to hope right now though that they can't find a cure. That's the thing I'm the most worried about. I mean, we can do some stuff to prevent the cure if we need to, so we should be fine, but yeah, just gotta be careful about that. Anyways, we saw that the map went completely red. First thing, of course, that we're going to take is total organ failure. That is the most lethal thing we can get, and right away, you can see the entire population is going down. I guess we're just looking at Iceland, but still, you know the entire population is going down. We don't gotta get anything else. Our disease is now set to destroy the rest of humanity, and it really just is a ticking time bomb with how long these humans want to last until we finish out that part of the run. And now on to the next plague. This plague is the Neurax worm, which is a manipulative organism that burrows into the brain. How exactly that works, I have no idea, but the important part is that it allows us to control people's minds. But before getting into that, we're back to some old genetic code genes with metabolic hijack, genetic mimic, suppression, herbophile, and symptostasis. And you'll see that this new plague doesn't just give us new music, but it also changes around the transmission, symptoms, and abilities from the normal ones, since it's a special plague. And we're going to be focusing on transmission just to start out, because of course we're trying to get that infectivity up, especially air travel. That's really nice. And also, you should probably read what the descriptions of these things are. Like, they're actually pretty funny, especially with the Neurax worm. But after that, all we need for transmission is going to be getting some birds as well, so we're kind of just waiting for a few of these guys. And eventually we will be able to get bird 1 before going over to our abilities and getting Trojan Plains 1. And Trojan Plains by far is one of the nicest abilities for the Neurax worm, because we no longer have to rely on luck to hit areas like Greenland. Instead, every once in a while, we get to choose where one of our infected people goes and travels to. So we can tell them to go straight to Greenland, and yeah, it's that easy. It's also a really nice ability because even if the airports are shut down, we can still do it. Don't really know how that makes sense, but I guess they hijack a plane or something like that. But of course, that ability is not going to be enough to infect everybody by itself, so we also still do want to upgrade both our air and our water all the way, and then we can also get insects and rodents just to make sure that everybody gets infected at all times. You're also going to see me go and get Iceland right there. Iceland, another place that is notoriously awful, before we're also getting cold resistance so we can deal with those cold countries, and finally go on to symptoms. Now symptoms, the only one we really want is going to be the one that completely brainwashes people. We'll go towards this, which is devotion, and that's going to be nice, you know, making people like us better. But the one after that is transcendence. Transcendence forces the host into a permanent state of worship and acceptance, making the Neurax worm their new eternal god. So once we get this ability, we don't even have to worry about killing everybody. This is another win condition. Then we'll just focus on getting a lot more symptoms, making the Neurax worm harder to cure, and that's pretty much it. At this point, we're just waiting for everyone to get infected, and we're good to go. But one thing I should mention is for transcendence, we really rush to get there, and that's because when you play on Mega Brutal, there's something called genetic drift, and basically genetic drift makes symptom costs more expensive as more people get infected. This is only on Mega Brutal, and yeah, it really makes some of these annoying. The other things that happen for Mega Brutal is doctors invest in research, and there are random medical checkups, so yeah, it's definitely the hardest difficulty, and so far, we've been doing pretty well. Next up, it's time for Parasite. It starts out with a higher level of severity. Severity is basically how likely people are to notice the
Should I
disease
get into
and start
the
researching a cure for it. So this game
TFT?
gives you abilities to make the
I haven't
plague less
played it in
likely
a
to be
while.
noticed that we won't be
The
using
last
at all.
few
But for our
seasons,
genetic
I did
code,
not
we'll be using genetic mimic,
enjoy
aquacyte,
playing.
herbophile, symptostasis, and a new gene, catalytic switch, which gives extra DNA.
I wonder if
for
it's a new
popular
one from the
research
last time I
models. Now
looked.
this one's going to be a
Probably
pretty
not
basic start.
yet.
We're going into symptoms and trying to get our infectivity up as much as possible, getting things like rashes, coughing, all that sort of stuff, and we can also get cyst hypersensitivity before going on to transmission. And right away, just like normal, we got to focus on our boats and our planes because those are going to be the fastest way to get things going. And like usual, we have to worry about the islands, which are always going to be harder to get to. And even though the severity is up a fair amount, it doesn't really matter, especially because we are speedrunning this game. Even if they do find out about the disease, there's not going to be too many people researching a cure against it, at least until we start killing. It is weird that severity is even really a thing. Like, I've never seen it play any importance to any of the speedruns, and I never really paid attention to it when I played this game back in middle school. I already knew the basics. Hey, if you start killing people, that's when they're going to start working on the cure. And to be honest, before I started making this video, I didn't even know what severity was. I only learned what it was because I wanted to tell you. To be fair, if we weren't picking the perfect options and speedrunning, severity would be a bit more important. But right now, as long as I do everything correct, we should be good to go. But you're seeing a pretty basic start. We're going to get both the cold resistance, a little bit of heat resistance, and of course our drug resistance. We're pretty much always going for the start because it's just good. It just works. Why not? We're also getting a ton of different airplanes and places going around. But of course, I want to get this drug resistance as soon as possible so we can start hitting the other things. And we want to get genetic hardening. The world on the Parasite does find a cure much faster than it does for other diseases, so that is something to worry about.
So SpongeBob SquarePants: A Cosmic Shake was finally released a few weeks ago. For me, this game was highly anticipated because this is the first 3D SpongeBob game that actually looked fun to play since the SpongeBob movie video game released all the way back in 2004. This game is a sequel to Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, this time with all new levels and a unique story to play along with. But the thing is, the SpongeBob SquarePants speedrunning community is huge, and it didn't take long at all for speedrunners to start breaking the game, and even though the game is so new, I actually think the speedrun route is in a pretty good place right now, and barring any new massive sequence break discoveries, I'm somewhat confident that this video won't be completely out of date after release, but who really knows. The game opens up with SpongeBob waking up in his pineapple, preparing for a fun day at Glove World with Patrick. The beginning of this game is just a tutorial, but we do have to go through it for two reasons. The first is that compared to Battle for Bikini Bottom, this game is very linear. In Battle for Bikini Bottom, the only task that is mandatory in that game is collecting enough shiny objects for the first golden spatula. Once that's done, you can visit any area in the game and do any challenge in any order you want, provided you have enough golden spatulas to enter each level. But in this game, there are no golden spatulas. Instead, there are these doubloons that you can find hidden in levels, or you acquire them after completing a skill challenge. But these aren't required for level completion, and we can beat the game without collecting a single one. The other reason why this tutorial is so important is because SpongeBob starts out this game with having no abilities whatsoever. The only thing he can do is jump, walk, and interact with other characters. All abilities in this game require hitting certain triggers in order to unlock them. So after we get done speaking to Sandy and walk on this patch of sand, SpongeBob will unlock his spin attack. Something else I should also mention is that I have a certain number of rebinds on my controller, which makes tech smashing way easier. On my left trigger, I have E-bound, which allows me to interact with NPCs, so I'll usually mash that when approaching somebody to talk to them as quickly as possible, and then my right trigger is bound to space, and I'll use that, plus the A button to mash quickly through dialogue. I just wanted to point that out in case someone tried copying my button inputs, because this will not work unless you do the exact same rebinds. Anyways, once we get to Patrick's Rock, the duo will then head to Glove World. While at Glove World, a wagon magically appears out of thin air. After perusing through its wares, SpongeBob locks his eyes on a glowing container of bubble soap, and we are introduced to Madame Cassandra, a mermaid fortune teller who gives them the magic bubble soap, telling them they can use it to make their friends' dreams come true. Afterwards, SpongeBob begins blowing a bunch of bubbles and grants a bunch of wishes for the citizens of Bikini Bottom. After blowing all the bubbles, they decide to read the back of the label to learn that this bubble soap actually belonged to King Neptune, and isn't meant to be used by mortals. This causes, well, a cosmic shake. A giant portal opens up, sucking up most of Bikini Bottom, taking buildings and residents with it, leaving the town covered in a substance called cosmic jelly, the building blocks of reality. After waking up in a post-apocalyptic Bikini Bottom, Patrick is turned into a balloon, serving as our companion for the rest of the game, floating by our side, as we only get to play as SpongeBob in this game. We'll continue heading through Bikini Bottom, doing some platforming sections where we learn how to ground pound, and learn how to hover with the pizza box. An important aspect of platforming in this game is learning how to utilize spins. By spinning during the apex of jumps, make SpongeBob stall in the air for a bit, allowing for longer jumps. Gliding is relatively slow, and will need to be avoided as much as possible. But by starting to glide and canceling it, gives SpongeBob a different falling animation, where he falls a bit more forward than usual, which you can see me using across these gaps to avoid ledge grabs and pulling out the pizza box. Eventually we'll be confronted by some enemies made out of cosmic jelly that were created after the cosmic shake. These enemies are just grunts, and are taken out pretty easily. We'll then talk to Madame Cassandra, who will give us outfits to travel to different universes to find our friends and collect cosmic jelly for her along the way. This is pretty much all of the story I wanted to explain, to at least give some context as to why we're jumping into portals, going to random areas, but for the rest of the video, I'm mainly just going to be focusing on the speedrun. But before we get into the first level, I'd like to give a special thanks to today's video sponsor, Raycon. If you're looking for an affordable, durable pair of earbuds for any occasion, Raycon has you covered. Whether I'm going to or go to buyraycon.com/easyscapespeedruns to get 15% off your Raycon purchase. Thanks again to Raycon for sponsoring me. Now let's get back into the video. The first level we'll be heading to is a western level in Jellyfish Field. We start at this level immediately riding the seahorse. At this point, we haven't learned how to properly ride them yet, and are kind of just locked into being able to move left and right with the seahorse. But by holding left when moving down this ramp will cause a massive speed boost for some reason, allowing us to get to the bottom quicker, and that will be it for the seahorse section. So yeah, like the title says, this game is pretty broken, and we're finally going to see the first case of why this is. In this game, certain animations don't play out, the character models aren't on screen. For example, this jelly maker enemy that spawns jelly bandits won't finish its death animation if it isn't on screen. And pretty much every enemy in the game won't approach and attack SpongeBob if he isn't on screen either, which will be abused later on, but that's not the point of why I'm telling you this. Apparently there's a massive oversight, and this mechanic also applies to animations that SpongeBob does, including his ground pound, meaning if we perform a ground pound when SpongeBob isn't visible, it never ends, allowing him to float in the air from location to location. There is an example out there of someone
How
pulling
did
this
they
off
miss
while
something
keeping
like
SpongeBob
that?
on camera, but I'm showing this off just so you can see what's going on while this exploit is being used. So for the standard setup to pull this trick off, requires turning the camera all the way up until it stops moving, and then doing a short hop plus a ground pound. The jump has to be super short though, otherwise the camera will see SpongeBob. Generally, this is a pretty inconsistent way of doing the trick, because sometimes the camera will pan down earlier than other attempts, cutting the glide off early, which is why I recommend performing a walk-off float instead. By walking off a ledge with the camera pulled up and spamming the ground pound button makes it so a ground pound is performed as soon as SpongeBob walks off the ledge, and removes the need for quick inputs or any type of setup other than positioning the camera where you want to go. The last thing I want to mention about floats for now is that if runners aren't confident they're in their correct location when landing, they can press start, swap to a different costume, and then when they unpause, they
This
get
is
their
the
jump
worst
back,
boss.
plus the ability to glide. This does lose time, but it does help out a lot with consistency. There is more float stuff to talk about later, but for now, let's get back into the run. So after skipping the cutscene, the first float I'll do is towards this trampoline. Since during floats I can only look at the sky, I have different visual and audio cues I use to know when to land. For this one, there are jelly fragments hovering above the trampoline, so once I hear SpongeBob collect them, I can hold back and land right on it, placing me right on the ledge. Afterwards, I'll do some platforming, and then position myself for another float to go straight towards the next seahorse section. Normally we have to go to Manta Fe to get our seahorse license, do a battle in the saloon, and then do a bar mini game. But luckily for us, all that's required to ride the seahorse is landing on this trigger. When riding the seahorse, I pretty much just spam boost and jump because jumping maintains the speed you get from the boost, and then I reinitiate the boost each time I land. Following this, we're supposed to help Mr. Krabs out with the first round of collecting cactus juice. But even in the pre-release version of the game, speedrunners were running before the game officially came out, and Out of Bounds Skip was found to skip this. But of course, why do all that when we could just float over instead? For this float, I just aim SpongeBob lining up at the top of his cowboy hat right towards where the first cactus spawns, and then when I finally see the cliffs appear at the bottom of the screen, I'll let go. After milking this cactus, the nearby lift will activate, and you can see me go for a ledge grab here that doesn't pay off, but I do manage to get the backup strap by jumping off this wanted poster, barely saving any time. It may not look like much, but little tricks like this can save upwards to 5 seconds alone. After milking the third cactus, I'll skip the next lift by doing a precisely timed double jump for max height to get a ledge grab on this beam, and then make my way around the scaffolding and beeline to the barrel to deposit all the juice. Just as I arrive to the barrel, a bunch of enemies will spawn, and we are introduced to 2 new enemies, the Tartar Jelly and the Jelly Maker. The Jelly Maker spawns Jelly Bandits, and needs to be taken out as soon as possible. Each time I hit one, it pushes SpongeBob back with a roar, but this can be avoided by dodging, which as you'll see later on, has a ton of invincibility frames for pretty much the entire duration of the roll. Like I mentioned earlier, I'll keep the camera focused on the Jelly Maker, otherwise it won't finish its death animation, and by doing this, I can also prevent the Tartar Jelly from activating. Afterwards, I'll load up the barrel and get sent to the den of the Alaskan Bullworm. In order to activate the lift to escape this cave, we have to find Old Man Jenkins' lost gold tooth, so I'll drop down and collect the tooth hidden in this rock. This spawns a bunch of enemies, which normally takes quite a bit of time to deal with, but we can skip this encounter by abusing the game's autosave feature. The trigger for the autosave isn't fully understood, but if I let the enemies kill SpongeBob while he has 3 underwear, in most cases the autosave will activate during the death animation, and then we can reload the save file to spawn back near Old Man Jenkins, skipping the fight entirely. After riding the lift, we'll have another seahorse section, and there isn't too much to this, but by abusing the speed conservation and cutting corners, I can clip into the train, which is kinda cool. Once I get onto the train, it's a straight shot to the end, and the main optimization here is rolling as much as possible. You've probably noticed I tend to jump out of all of my rolls, and this is done on purpose, because SpongeBob's velocity when running is normally at a value of 900, but when he rolls, it instantly shoots up to 1385. However, the problem with rolls is that after they end, his speed drops all the way down to 400, and then climbs back up to 900 again. But by jumping out of a roll, you can cancel the speed drop, and SpongeBob's speed just slowly decelerates back to normal run speed. After reaching the end of the train marks the end of the western level, and we get transported back to the hub world. There isn't too much to point out during the hub world sections. They're pretty much just littered with random tasks like pressing a button, collecting some books, flipping patties, or picking up trash. Unlike when we're in the other levels, where if you're able to reach a destination early, we can skip certain checkpoints. In the hub location, all checkpoints have to be completed to get access to the next level. So yeah, not much interesting stuff happens during these, so I'm just going to skip over them, and for the rest of the video, just go level to level. The next level is a film set for a karate movie, with Squidward as the director, and Sandy as the final boss. This is personally my favorite level, but it has one of the most difficult tricks in the speedrun. After walking through the hallway and skipping through Pearl's dialogue, I'll platform around this cardboard from the set to get onto this platform. I'll then do a roll off the ledge, instantly cancel it with a spin to not only maintain my speed coming off the ledge, but also keep my double jump, then I'll jump, spin, and jump spin again to make it over the fence. This avoids a dialogue trigger, and if I hug the wall, I can also avoid an encounter with enemies. I'll then climb up this beam and position the camera behind SpongeBob to perform a new type of float that I'll just call wall floats. How these work are instead of pointing the camera up to get SpongeBob off screen, I'll just use a wall instead. The benefit of doing this is I'm able to get a lot more height from jumps before performing the float, since if I were to try to do that with the camera up, SpongeBob would be in view, but not in this case. And this jump is very necessary because it gives me enough height to float onto the sledge. I'll then platform around some invisible barriers, do another wall glide, land on this building, grab an invisible ledge, and then finally land on this cardboard wall. Normally this is supposed to be an auto-scroller section, but instead I can walk on top of the wall to avoid it completely. Once I get most of the way down the wall, well, you can probably guess at this point, I'm going to do another float. This one is really important because by talking to Squidward over here, we learn a new ability called the Karate Kick. This ability is one of the most crucial, as it allows us to fly towards enemies and interactable objects at high speeds, and certain speed tech just isn't possible without it. In terms of speedrunning, this is probably the coolest ability in the game. Afterwards, I'll platform around the buildings again to get myself out of bounds, and then fly towards a dojo. I have to be really careful during this float, as there's a giant death plane all around this area. After I land, I'll need to start making my way up to the dojo rooftop by climbing up the downtown area. Luckily, most of the windows and objects sticking out of the buildings are able to be platformed on, so I'll abuse this to continue gaining height until I finally end up on this building here. Then I'm going to set up for the most difficult trick in this level. For this, I'll do a walk-off float, and fly across this massive gap until I reach this building on the other side. The only problem is, we don't have enough height to land on top of it. I'll look for this panel sticking out of the building to know when to land, and then just barely land on this window. I'll then need to do this really tricky jump to land on this pipe, throw a bubble at the button to lower the crane, and then kick a nearby enemy to get the rest of the way up. The rest of the level is pretty straightforward from here. I'll just need to keep climbing up these cranes until I reach the top of the dojo and press the button. For the Sandy boss fight, I'll start out by making her hit these explosives to stun her, and then once she lands on the ground, hit her with a karate kick. After this, she'll spawn a wave of enemies, including these ninjellies, that will charge after SpongeBob and can only be defeated after being stunned from running into a wall or being hit with a karate kick. I like to go for the strat here where I stand in the center and try to get them all to hit this tree to knock them all out at once, which is really satisfying to pull off. I also want to be only 2 health by this point because after finishing this wave of enemies, Sandy will flip the wheel on its side and begin charging at SpongeBob, but I'll just die here on purpose to skip the phase completely. The rest of the fight is straightforward, and I'll just need to hit her 2 more times to finish it, and that's pretty much it. Next we'll be heading into a pirate-themed version of Goo Lagoon. This level is by far one of the most broken levels of the speedrun in terms of skips, one of the most frustrating in terms of RNG, and one of the most interesting about the game around because of how many abilities get skipped. You see in this level, normally we're supposed to free Larry to learn how to use a hook swing, but we skip it and can't use it for the entire game. This is the same case for these rings that when glided through, give SpongeBob a speed boost. But by never talking to Mr. Krabs at the top of the sandcastle, they just don't spawn in for the rest of the game. And finally, we're also supposed to learn how to slingshot from this mermaid. But yeah, it gets skipped. So let me show you why. I'll first start by making my way across the beach using some of the jelly bandits to boost off of. When I say this level is terrible in terms of RNG, do you guys remember the Dying for Pie episode from SpongeBob? The pies that are bombs? Well, yeah. All throughout this level, pies are being thrown at you at all times. As I get towards the end of the beach, I'll jump off this palm tree and glide around a cutscene trigger. This can be really scary to go for, not because it's difficult, but because you can get pied right into the cutscene if you're unlucky, losing roughly a minute, killing most runs. Assuming this didn't happen, I'll climb up the rocks and then float towards an island in the background that you're not even supposed to be on. I can then jump up this island, make my way to this palm tree, and then aim my camera towards the ship. This ship is the last area of the level, which means once I get there, I've pretty much done a full level skip. As I see my float getting close to the ship, I'll move right and land on it, and then do the prawn boss fight, which is just 3 waves of jelly enemies. There are 2 new types of enemies here. The first is this cube jelly that does a body slam attack after hovering over SpongeBob for long enough. The next are these enemies called baby booms that shoot a ball of jelly at you, which can be deflected back to do damage back to them. I can exploit this on the final wave of enemies by positioning myself in front of this big jelly, making him get hit by the ball, and then I can kick a jelly bandit behind the big jelly, stunning him, giving me 2 free hits. I'll then clear out the rest of the enemies, and that concludes the pirate level. Next up is a Halloween themed rock bottom level. Theoretically, we would also be able to do an end of level skip in this level, but it currently isn't possible, and I'll shortly explain why that is, but first I'll need to make my way through some of the level. Along the way, I'll be introduced to these new enemies, which Patrick calls spludges, so that's just what I'll call them. Spludges can't be killed with normal attacks, and first requires learning an ability called Spook. So after passing this group,
I think I'm calling it there. Official test stream done. See how that looks. Thanks for stopping by if you did. And I will see you another night.